Cyberpunk 2077 tweeted out, "What the fuck?"
This is
CD
actually
Projekt Red Japan. I don't know what that means.
maybe something to do with the FPS.
Wait, what?
There's the multiplayer FPS game that's being made
For what?
for Cyberpunk.
What? You mean like a separate title or a separate IP?
A separate title in the Cyberpunk IP.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't heard that.
I don't know who's developing it.
Mm.
So it might be related. Unsure. I don't know Japanese.
Fume game 2? Oh, okay, Fume's coming. Okay. Let's post this. Oh no, I can't type with my mic in the way. I need to get a mic stand over badly.
Yeah.
But whatever. It works right now.
Need to-
I get a mic stand at some point.
Need to set up my computer differently so my microphone sounds less tinny. I'm in way too open of a room for this.
I mean, it mostly works. It depends on the mic you use too.
Yeah. Just gotta figure it out because I think the quality is not the best on it. Like the actual quality is fine. It's just got too much weird noise on it.
Sure. Alright, anyway, am I live yet? I don't know. Yes, I am. Okay, anyway. Bulljax is also doing an ASMR cast over on his, or just a regular cast. I don't know if he's actually doing ASMR, but that's a thing.
Dude.
Sag.
I'm
While playing,
that...
okay, Smack is really pissed that he cannot get his slot. Technically, we're not late yet, so there's nothing to complain about, but...
Not quite yet. It's okay. It's NA Dota. 10 minutes late is on time.
Oh my god. Just get in the spot. Alright, I'm playing Switch games until Smack. I think they just kick Smack at this point, honestly.
I wouldn't blame them.
I'm gonna charge this actually. Alright, Smack is not backing down.
No, he's given up. He's gone into the bottom slot.
Yeah. Either way, good series. Law is again playing later tonight too. So this is their first match for today. I believe they're just getting all their matches done basically on a singular day, which is an interesting way to do it. But fatigue is not really a thing to worry about when it comes to Dota. So
and they do have like 6 hours between their matches. So.
Law with a win-tie-win presence coming into this. The last 3 matches, win-tie-win. They're about 6th in the group. Even if they 2-0 here, they cannot take over first or second. They could tie Free Logical for 4th place if they get a 2-0. And on the other side of things, Mr. Trickz and the Manlets, if they get a 2-0, they can take over first. They are loss win-win on their end. 4-1-2 behind Nebula by 1 point. Nebula playing incredibly well this season. I don't think anybody really expected them to be #1 in the group, but maybe. I did not expect them to be #1 in the group. I thought it was going to be either Albert or Mr. Trickz, but
I was in a similar boat until I saw Bulljack's Witch Doctor. Man's a hero.
Yeah, they've been playing incredibly well with that lineup too. Just based on like Moonlight last season, just finishing in the middle of the group. I kind of assume they get much of the same this season, but it's actually really worked out for them. It's a fantastic patch for Bulljacks, and the rest of the team fits together really well. I think the same thing with this Mr. Trickz lineup, though. They have a really good shot to take the first seed here, as I think this is our last set of games. Before, I can't remember. Week 4 matchups. I wish they had dates. Oh god. Mr. Trickz and the Manlets versus the Law, and the Law versus Vibecat, which I think is later.
Surely there's got to be one more, right?
There might be 2 more weeks. Let me just ask.
You need
Bulljax.
5. Well, actually, I am unsure.
I think there's.
You know what? I don't know enough about the lads as the organization of the games. I just cast them.
Let me ping Bulljax. But yeah, we're getting towards the end of the season. Mr. Trickz and the Manlets have looked incredibly strong. Like, that's kind of a stacked lineup too. Every single position is like one of the best in the league overall, I would say. Filsky's a really good offlaner to watch if you're trying to learn offlane, in my opinion. Brightside, I believe Smack are the 2 supports. And then John, Sev, John mid, Sev mid? I can't remember which one's
Sev
which.
Mid,
but...
Jaws the Wait, no, I think actually Sev might be playing safe lane now. I get it confused because I watch a lot of Sev in this and RD2L. So
yeah, and everybody usually plays. I've noticed it plays a different role. When it comes to like RD2L, like they'll just be like, oh well, it's not that big of a deal, and just play something to learn it. And I think that's why RD2L is really good to learn in. Let me just pull up their Dota buff.
I know Sev plays mid, but he's also been playing more safe lane.
Sure.
So I am unsure. I believe in lads he plays mid.
Let's see here. Let's look at their drafts. Let's just go to their last series. They did a BO2. Half of these BO2s aren't ticketed correctly. This is weird. Let's go to game 1 right here. Smack is... Honestly, Smack looks like he's the offlaner. What the fuck? Am I wrong? What's game 2 of this series look like? Clockwork, I'm digging it. We at least get that out early. You see that hero banned a lot early on in most of the games that I cast.
Yeah, that and the Doom and the Tiny. I swear, Doom and Tiny are always banned. Makes sense. They're both very powerful.
Yeah, I think Smack is their offlaner. Unless... No. Filsky's the offlaner. Smack just goes, like... I don't know how he gets so much farm on position 4, because, like... Some of these games are just ridiculous, the amount of net worth he has over the other team. But it could just be really good games for them. Brightside, of course, usually that roaming 5 or 4. We'll probably see them put him on Earth Spirit.
Yep.
Oh, there's people backing me outside. I was like, what the hell is happening? Usually, what I've seen recently is people picking supports that are incredibly mobile, because offlaners are independent this patch. So you can have, these Clockworks or Spirits, heroes that want to roam around the map early on and look for kills. Clockwork's not as good as Earth Spirit in that aspect, but have some Wind Ranger for a setup. Grimstroke's pretty good with the Clockwork too, so maybe they can make something happen.
Yeah, and Clock's Voice is kind of like a lane terror for the position 5.
Yeah, well, it depends on what they pick for the Pause 5. If it's Wind Ranger, obviously still going to be a terror, but decent move speed out of Wind Ranger. Honestly, you can probably get out of Cog's range for the most part. Earth Spirit
level 1 boots. And then battery assault is...
Yeah. Earth Spirit's role can get canceled, but it depends on the timing of battery assault. It's kind of just up in the air, and unless you can like seriously time it right, but it's pretty hard to get off.
The Abaddon. I've been seeing Abaddon coming back. I like it.
Yeah.
His shield's always good.
Offlane Abba, pretty popular again, I think. I think a couple patches ago, like 5 Abaddon was the thing, but now it's transitioned back into we want it as an offlaner. Can trade incredibly well. It's also a really independent offlaner. You can kind of ditch him at like level 3 or 4 and just let him get solo XP.
If it is a 3 Abaddon, I think the Spectre's going to do absolutely fine in the lane.
Yeah. One more week. Thank you, Colonel Squid. I could see that. I'm not really sure how that lane plays out, but I think Spectre is totally fine just picking up farm. I don't know if Abaddon can really harass a Spectre out. Obviously, the dot's going to be annoying to deal with, but...
Yeah, the slow's a bit of a hassle, but I think if you're Spectre, you're tanky enough that you don't mind too much, and you're never going to be under too much kill threat with Dagger.
Tweet this really quick. Well, you can purge off the Dagger slow too, so...
Yeah, but I'm thinking more the Dagger into trees to just walk away. Like, not for the slow, but just... How do you kill the Spectre? Especially with the Grimstroke behind it.
I speak for the trees.
NP!
Roaming... So this... Is this a mid NP, or is this their off laner? And they're gonna do some weird shit.
Normally I'd say it's a mid NP, because I know
Seb
plays it.
Let me see if they picked it in the past.
I know Seb has definitely played it in the past. I
In
just don't
League of
know
Lads, though?
with the wind. He's picked it in Lads. Maybe I'm wrong.
Okay, they lost a match
the issue is
3 days ago.
I feel like that wind has to be mid at this stage.
I'm thinking so too, because every time they've picked... Hold on, let me check this other match. Every other time they've picked... Oh no, they played NP mid. They played NP off in their last 2 games. And in their last 3 games ago, it was NP off for Filski. So I guess it kind of just depends. It looks like it's between Seb and Filski for playing it.
Yeah,
they've
I
alternated.
think it'll probably end up being Filski. Because I don't think this wind fits as a support anymore. I think you want the Earth Spirit to take that 4. And wind 5 feels pretty weak to me.
Let's see how they want to do it. I'm not a big fan of Wind 5. The trading's okay, but just her right-click damage is kind of meh.
Her right-click damage is pretty meh. She really needs an item or two to become a powerhouse, you know? Whether that's going for like a Blink Yules or even just going into like a casual Javelin for some more damage. A 5 doesn't really get that opportunity. I'd say it could be a 5 natures, but that's pretty dead now.
Okay. Lena mid, probably. I don't think you put Grimstroke Clock anywhere else unless it's like an off-lane Clockwork and they're gonna go like Clockwork Grimstroke in the same lane, which feels pretty weak, but they haven't picked a core yet for Mr. Trickz. I think it's gonna be a last pick, like I don't know who their core is here, honestly. You can maybe go AM.
They need something with some solid team fight here. So right now they're kind of lacking.
You need to get team fight from their core though?
Yeah, it doesn't feel good, but it is also possible. I think I've seen them run the one Nature's Prophet.
Not
I'm
that
not sure
I'm
if that was
seeing.
in Lads. That might have been
like looking through their Dota buff. I haven't seen the. So they played one Nature's Prophet where Filski was playing it in a safe lane.
Yeah,
but it wasn't like Ja1 playing it. So.
Well, we'll have to see. I mean, I guess their team fight's not horrible, but it relies a lot on Earth Spirit getting a really impactful magnetize.
And I just don't know if they're going to be able to pick a core that can go up against Spectre. Probably in the early game, yeah. That's why I think like AM's really good here, just for the positioning around Clockwork, Grimstroke, getting on top of Spectre. so that you can distract, but that's probably Abaddon's job. We could see an Abaddon core here, honestly.
A Pango, so even more team fight.
Mid lane
Law.
Pango, probably, unless they want to run Lina mid.
I think it might be a Lina mid at this stage with like a Pango clocking me off.
I like the mid lane Pango against NP though. I mean, either one, Lina or Pango, they're able to clear off the tree ants really easy. So it's like, is that little bit of extra farm, but
yeah. And if it's a mid wind, Pango does pretty well into that.
Yeah. I think we could see an Abaddon core here, and then we'll pick an offlaner for Filski, potentially. That also, like you said, if they need more team fight, there's a lot more offlaners that can accomplish that.
Yeah, and they'll pick
they go for the mid dude. Yeah, well, there's team fight as well, so it's probably Invoker mid with offlane. No, they are playing Jaw Prophet. Yep, okay. Jaw Prophet. First time for them. Prophet. At least as far as I know, first time for them running this.
I know I've casted a Sev game with the one Prophet, but it was probably already 2-0. But I'm
where
okay
Sev
with...
played it? Okay. I'm okay with the Invoker. Like you said, if they have struggle for team fight, Invoker can really patch that up. I like the Abaddon off lane. It's probably going to be a draw of a lane against a Spectre, but their draft is incredibly fast with Prophet, Invoker, Abaddon. Like, you can start fighting very early into the game, and I think they can just split push with Prophet as 4 of them group up and make plays around the map. Earth Spirit should be able to make... Smack is a really mobile player. I think he loves to roam, so him on Earth Spirit's kind of perfect for them. The other side of things, Law, I think Ezon's their mid? Oh god, I know these things, and I should know these things, but everything like slips my mind, I swear to god.
I'm assuming it's the mid Pango. I think it makes more sense than the Lina.
See how they played it in the past. Clan Burglar, offlane. Wait, what? Clam's on Lina? If he's their offlaner, what? It is Ezon mid. Mafaz. Alright, this is just a weird game that I'm looking at. Dota buff is non-reliable sometimes.
I was gonna say on the rosters what position they play.
No, it's just they picked some really weird heroes in this one game I'm looking at where they go Mirana core and Mirana buys like Halberd for some reason.
Yeah, it looks like Clam Burglar is their offlaner according to the rosters.
I mean, they could do it either way, right? It's probably going to be, you're right, Clam is going to be, oh, they both have boots. What the fuck? Lina walking to lane without any mana regen kind of seems weird to me, but that is 4 casts of LSA.
Okay, so here's the thought for this. Something that a lot of the more, the like tier 1, tier 2 teams have been picking up is they've been going away from the traditional 3-4 and kind of doing like a lane where both the 3 and the 4 farm as they can and get XP as they can. So maybe that's the concept here.
I could see it working, especially if it just means both are going to sit in lane and try and harass the pause 1 out, instead of like usually what you see is the position 4 will leave the lane really early.
Yeah,
it's a way to play it.
Can secure the range creeps with the LSA and the Dragon Slave.
USS going to be just fine here. Should be able to pop an Ink Spell and just walk away. That extra move speed helping him out. And no kills early on. Yeah.
But that should secure them 2 bounds.
Basically, Smack's team feel like they're doing a very traditional lineup.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Other than the Abaddon, they feel really vulnerable to me. It seems like it's going to be like they could very easily get like a hook shot and they're just dead. There's no real save or protection.
Everybody else is pretty squishy, yeah. I do love picking Clockwork into Invoker just because there's not a lot of ways for Invoker to get out unless he wants to like invoke attack speed with oh god. There's a couple of ways, but none of them are particularly great.
Yeah, and he's gonna definitely be put
Probably
into
the
the role
target.
of Boss Wax this game.
The target
So
in
he
most
doesn't
of these
have the
team fights. I'm
damage.
gonna turn down Dota just slightly. But pretty even lanes, I think. Top, we'll see how this is gonna go. Depends on who, basically who's gonna end up with more CS at like 6 minutes for who wins this lane. I don't know if kills are really gonna be possible. It's hard to kill an Abaddon, especially when he can't perch off the Inkswell, but still.
Yeah, and it's hard to kill the Spectre. I don't think anything's gonna happen there.
No.
I think mid 2 is gonna go mostly even.
Oh, this is a dead courier bottom, though. Brightside actually just ran his courier right through Mafuz. An easy one there for Mafuz to pick up. And yeah, the core profit. Bottom, I'm not sure. This seems like a pretty good lane for Nina.
Oh, nope.
Yeah. The problem with Clockwork going on anybody in this bot lane, too, is you just get the treants right there. And Battery Assault's damage is a third of what it should be.
Absolutely. This mid matchup. I think it's going to come down a lot to the early rotations from the mid. I think the lanes are probably going to go pretty even. I don't imagine any lane being super one-sided.
They are trying to go on top as they are going to get the Inkswell. A couple more hits from Filski should be able to get the attack speed burst. Smack is going a little bit low because he got aggressive there, but Filski having to back off too because he's taking so much right clicks from QSS. Very nice from him there. Got a lot of good trades there from the Grimstroke, so we'll have to at least use this salve. And I guess what we have to kind of pay attention to in this top lane is who has more regen.
Real quick though, mid, maybe a dive.
Mid was very close. He's on using the swashbuckle there. Couldn't finish him off, but
yeah, I think it's gonna be tough. That was, I mean, QSS unfortunately missed the stroke of fate there, which maybe would have secured them the kill on the Smack, but
potentially
it's gonna be tough.
Izan probably needs to get a salve out mid, but I mean, the beauty of Pangum is as long as you're hitting your swashbuckles, you're doing fine. Like, you're getting a CS plus a RAS with the swashbuckle, it's a one lane.
Yep.
Just gotta focus on that every single time. Top lane, they might try and go on Filski again. Slendy, you have to be careful how much you trade with Filski, of course, because he does have the 1 level in the passive now. Curse of Avernus.
Yeah, but he's used all his mana, so if Dyer's paying attention, they could make a play. He does have a mango.
I just missed first blood because it actually happens mid-Sev. Getting an early one. 376 gold for that, and he is doing just fine now. I think I probably should have expected it was going to come, and actually we get another one top lane too. Like literally 30 seconds after you said they might catch him out.
I mean, that's really good for Sub too, because he was a bit behind on the last hits, but now
mid lane there's a rotation from Mafuz, but I don't think you can get him inside the cogs, so they're just gonna back off. The roll through does hit. There is a DD on Smack if they want to continue to chase. Cold Snap on him as well, but they don't want to go underneath the tier 1. Tornado connects, but not quite enough damage. And I mean, nice play there from Smack. You're kind of wasting the rotation from Clock, making him probably run all the way back to the base with the amount of mana he has, and Smack can stay just roaming around. Only punishment Smack pays there is your offlane does die, which might just die again if they can get the Inkswell. Smack's on his way up, and I think he might be able to make the space. Filski getting slowed by the Stroke of Fate, does not have a shield for a little bit, but there he can pop it. Roll through does miss. If they want to turn this on to Slendy, gets the slow. Right clicks, a bonus attack speed coming through. Slendy is super slow here. Does throw the dagger, but isn't going to be enough. I don't think so, as Filski gets the last hit. Even with the roll missing, they might be able to chase more, but again, QSS actually dodging it is going to try and turn it with an Inkswell here. Misses the stun, and now they can go back at him. Do they want to dive to tier 1? It's going to be a risk, but Smack's going to run underneath the tower with the shield, and now he just pops the Fairy Fire. QSS, the big brain, plays, baits Smack in, and gets the kill. Smack actually tipping his own teammate there too. Probably a little bit angry Filsky didn't dive with him, but I think diving the tier 1 for a support's probably not the best decision.
No, I mean, I think it's okay for Smack to go in. You toss the level 2 shield, maybe with a right click and a pop, you get the kill, but it would have just been a double if Filsky had gone in with 300 health.
Yeah, they probably have died. You do not want to die again on the Abaddon, too.
Brightside's courier goes down again.
Yeah, and they might just lose another. No, he does barely get it over the trees. Roll in, misses. It's actually right through the cogs, but yeah, Mafuz not living that one. I mean, at the very least, you're making a decent amount of space for Clam. If you can make this a solo lane bottom Clam, Lina versus NP is, I think, Lina favored just because she can clear off.
Mid. That caught him between the high ground.
He has nothing to bounce off of, though. He's going to probably get 2 more hits here. Roll is over. Does not have another swashbuckle or any mana to actually cast it. Kill is not going to happen because look at that regen now. And we actually lose another one bottom. I'm just missing a bunch. They lose the Lina. Stroke of Fate misses this time from QSS. As Smack does walk away. He's able to dive this time. Ja and QSS again missing the stuns. There's the shackle shot. Smack. He is dead center with the roll this time. And I don't think they dive for the clock. But beauty of NP. They can get so aggressive in this bot lane underneath the tower. And maybe just take it so early on. 7 minutes into the game. They have a catapult hitting this as well. I think they might be able to focus it down.
Another wave coming in to buy them some more time for the catapult. And
yeah, Clams has a decent amount of D push, but we'll see how he wants to play this. He's gonna maybe try and stun up Brightside. We'll see how much they want to commit, though, as the catapult's probably going to die now. They almost get it dead. It's still really worth the rotation from Smack, and I don't think you deny this right now for Law.
No, it's probably gonna stay up for at least a little bit.
Actually, all those heroes just left the bot lane, dude. Like, they were just like, you know what? We did the damage, and screw it. They'll deny it, which they do.
Yeah, now they've got that map control, and they can look to besiege another lane.
I don't know how you feel, but I feel like the off lane tower is probably not that big of a deal compared to, like, losing your safe lane tower early. There's another roll mid, this time Sev with the DD. There is Dust there as well. So he tried to go Invis to stay alive, but Sev dropping. That's a 3-hero rotation. So you get a couple of kills. We do have the 1v1 top, which we kind of expected after a bit. Looks like Spectre's winning out in terms of CS, so you're pretty happy if you're Slendy.
Yep. And you were saying about that bottom tower, it's definitely the least important. Especially in a game with like a Spectre, who's not really the traditional triangle farmer. Can't really take that map control. But I have to imagine that soon Ja will start rotating into the other lanes and they'll be looking for the more important towers.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think oh yeah, they're actually gonna get ease on. The tornado should be enough to finish him off, and it is. I think the biggest thing is Spectre can just farm basically anywhere on the map once that ult comes out. You don't need to be with your team at all. You can push lanes really aggressively and then use the ult to escape. Slendy should have a wide open game here. You kind of need to be careful of the NP, but they do roll in back onto QSS. The Inkswell going to miss because he gets kicked into a tree to line up the shackle shot, but now Smack's gone a bit too far. Clam with the rotation up, and now Brightside missing the stun, or at least dodging it. Filsky popping a shield on top of him. Slendy does have a dagger up in 2. Rotation from Izon into the roll. They will hit Fisky once. He does not have a level in the ultimate, but a nice shackle from Brightside onto 2. I think Filsky might be able to run this out, but dagger back through from Slendy as well as the roll. Can he actually walk this one off? He gets another shield, still doesn't have that ultimate there. It's actually leveled and popped, so we can just continue to walk. And now Izon might have just gone a bit too far because a lot of heroes have rotated into the shackle. Brightside is 3 for 3 at this engagement. Might even look for more because Jaws sprouted Slendy walking forward onto QSS. Stun does connect from Clam. Mafuz not gonna really commit too much here, just gonna make the defensive play. Smack rolling through does miss yet again. QSS is a little low here. You gotta be careful how far you want to go on Smacks. Mafuz might just get the return kill onto the Earth Spirit, but they can clean up Mafuz and maybe look for more. I don't think Clam's gonna drop. We get a buyback from the Grimstroke. He's actually ulting in here with the Spectre. They bring down Filski. He's able to pop a shield, but I still think he's gonna drop with the right clicks. Is no dagger yet, but Stroke of Fate to connect. Gonna save the kill for the core. Yes, QSS still gonna pick it up as he was almost getting away there. And I still think that's a really expensive engagement for Law. Like, you're totally happy with that if you're Mr. Trickz and the crew.
Yeah. They get the buyback forced out. They get a lot of kills. They also get the tier 1 tower.
A lot of gold right now for the NP. He is top of the net worth by about 1,000 compared to the next enemy hero.
And Sev also up there in the money, and he went for the Midas, so that'll only escalate.
That's Sev looking great too. I thought maybe we'd see a Midas on NP, but he actually just skipping it, going directly into that silence. I think he needs it if they want to rotate to kill Spectre later on, in like the 20-minute mark. So
yeah, and this like 10 to 20-minute mark is really important for NP. You gotta secure those early tier 1s, get that early map pressure. I think Midas is.
Oh, we have a smoke play bottom, by the way. I don't know. This is a clockwork with hook. Dude, this Immortal is dope. That was like the. Is that a taunt?
Yeah, it's the dance. It's the robot.
Oh my god, it looks like there's a boss in Super Mario Odyssey where there's like a dog chasing around. That is a dead bright side. There's like a chain chomp pulling a boss around, and that's what it looks like. Filski is probably going to be fine top. Izan's going to commit a roll for this, but it is just going to pop the Abaddon. Does not have a TP for 6 seconds, but Izan connecting on a swashbuckle. I think he just needs one more too, especially when he's going to proc the passive every single time. Goes for the TP. The swashbuckle is right there. 3 times he procs the passive with right clicks. Doesn't even need that swashbuckle. Now we do get the rotation up from Ja, who has a silence, but he's already in a good position. Izan might have just seen that one coming.
Yeah, it looks like the trees were cut, so he just had vision of the sprout. But they get the middle tier 1 in exchange,
yeah,
which I think is probably worth it.
Again, that's probably the biggest one for map control too. And they've taken the top tower as well, so Mr. Trickz definitely ahead in terms of map control right now. Haven't lost a single tower yet. Sev is not under a century yet, but the roll through does miss onto the cold snap. There's a TP in from Ja as well, getting the silence off, and that is a dead Spectre. About as easy as it gets.
That's just the power of taking those top tier 1.
Yeah, it's not safe to farm in your own jungle anymore. And
this is the timing. This is where Radiant is really strong, and if they can capitalize off of this, it'll be very hard to retire.
Well, they have, like I said at the beginning too, they have such a quick lineup, and you drafted a Spectre into this who needs a lot more time yet. They might just kill off Clam right now. The Shackle does miss. Not what we're used to seeing from Brightside, but it's not going to matter as he still gets the last hit there on Clam.
And now they're pressuring a tier 2 tower at 14 minutes.
Yeah, it's just the NP. They have such a quick lineup. Like, it's actually impressive that they kind of got away with this. I think it wasn't last pick Spectre, was it? It was like the last pick Lina, right? Or was it last pick Pango?
I think Spectre came in 3rd. His last pick Pango.
It's like the one hero that just doesn't really fit in this line. I think the Pango's fine for the D push as well as the Grimstroke, but it seems like they need to just make space for like 11, maybe 20 minutes here for Slendy to really get any items. He went for that early drums and is now working on a Manta, but it's just the map control. There's nowhere for him to farm. They still haven't taken bottom tier 1.
And he's sensing, he feels that, rightly so, that there's going to be a lot of fighting before he gets his items, so he's kind of forced into this drums build.
Yeah.
That just delays his power spike and gives Radiant more time to abuse it, as now we have a medallion for Brightside, Sev going for an Aghanims, Ja going for a BKB. Lots of big items.
Law is really getting slowed down too because of how they're having to position themselves around the Spectre just to make sure he doesn't get picked off again in the jungle, like we just saw.
Pango goes for a Blink Dagger.
Has he picked it up?
Seeds of fortune.
Wait,
Yeah, it's on
Pango?
the card.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Well, he's not terribly far behind, but I mean, still, you gotta look at Invoker and NP and just think, damn, that's a lot of gold to overcome at this point in the game.
Yeah, and that Pango Blink, it's not really adding too much to the damage, which it feels like they are lacking a bit on.
Yeah, and it
Smoke.
really feels like Clock hasn't added too much in terms of aggressiveness either. Like, they haven't really been able to get picks with the Clockwork, especially onto Invoker as well. You really have to punish this Invoker Midas, and the fact that he's basically on top of the net worth, only behind the NP at this point with a Midas, like, it's not looking great.
And Dire in the triangle, they smoked under a ward, and they knew the ward was there. They had put down the sun.
Izon gonna get silenced up. There's the TP into the Hex as well, or not the Hex, the Orchid, sorry. Either way, it gets them the kill. Tornado Forward is going to miss on QSS, but again, just really easy engagements for Mr. Trickz. It's hard for them to look for smokes on Law because you got to be careful of Jaw just TPing in and turning the fight. I think we are going to lose the tier 2 here. We do get the Fortify coming out. Smack is very far forward if they can continue this. QSS doesn't have a level in this silence yet, though. Does mean they missed the kill. Hook missing as well from Mafuz.
2 seconds until Tornado. I think Radiant are probably going to
I think they take this tier 2. I don't know how they stop them.
When they
Tornado
catch Clam.
up. They have vision on Clam. This roll does miss as well as the kick, but it's because he was up inside the Yule. Stun coming through. Another shackle shot. Slendy's actually rotated over with the ultimate, but can't get on top of anybody. Pilsky using the ult pretty early on in this one. The roll through is occurring. Maybe they can kill up right side. They do for Slendy. Can they get vision on Sev? I don't think so. Vilsky is going to be the last one forsaken from Mr. Trickz, so they do not get the tier 2. The defense is made. Little bit of an overcommitment there for the Lina, I think, as Slendy punishes them with the rotation. Doesn't even use the drums, by the way. He still has 6 charges.
Yeah, and I think importantly as well, Slendy got both of those kills. So
Yeah.
that's a big cash
Lots of
injection
XP.
for him.
Back the way of the Law. And, well, they still can't take a tower.
Still too much for them. Man, if you're on Radiant, you really want to get this 20-minute tier 2, but it's just not happening.
They're kind of struggling to actually turn these fights into objectives right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where they're just not quite getting enough picks. They need to pick off like 2 people to really siege, and they have to kill the Lina. Like, there's good D push from the side of Dire, but they might catch the Lina now.
I think they might just catch 2. They're going to see Izon for sure, but the blink away, they have him underneath the sentry. Sev may continue to look for more as he's got to swashbuckle up to get to the high ground. They will not go any further. I think that's the safe play to make.
And this whole time, Spectre is farming. As the Yasha, getting closer to the Manta.
I don't know. What do you think the item progression is after the Manta? Wait, I haven't seen Spectre Radiance in so long.
I think now the item progression is mostly going from this Manta style into like directly a Scotty, just to give her more stats and more beef. From there, you can look into what you need to sort of counter the enemy draft. It seems like now stats are really the build for Spectre.
Mm-hmm.
And Scotty is just such a good item generally, up there with the MKB.
You could probably look for like SNY or Scotty. I think probably Scotty at this point because SNY it's a bit too late.
Yeah, you don't feel good going at like probably about 25 minutes when the mantle will be finished. That's not really when you want to rotate into an SNY.
Yeah, he still needs that ulti orb, which is the biggest. I think he's going to get it before 25. Probably, maybe 23, especially if he continues to play with this kind of space. They might just give up a bottom tier 1 right now, but Slendy's going to back off very early. Again, the rotations are so scary. Smack does cancel a TP, though. I think that might have been canceled by someone. I'm not quite sure who did it, but bottom tier 1 might just fall to creeps.
Well, the other... Oh no, the range creeps... No, they're pulled away, so it won't fall just yet.
As soon... Yep, the catapult just randomly decides to go hit the tower. They are gonna get the deny. No, they both canceled their TPs again. That might have been the roll through, actually, as they do take the tower for free. The deny does not come through. And now Filski getting rotated on, actually popping the ult. Izon's going to get silenced as well from Jaw, TPing up. I don't think they can save the Pango here. A couple of right clicks brings down the Pango. Izon dropping, Jaw getting that one. We do have the ult coming out onto Filski as Lina dies immediately after. All of the supports getting annihilated here. The backside just collapsing for the Law. They do go for a couple TPs out. Mafuz not going to get canceled as well. Izon actually bought back for this one. Trying to get the stun. Jaw popping the BKB though. They didn't know he had it. No, Izon's gone a bit too far. The dieback for him. Ultra kill for Jaw. And maybe he's going to get the Rampage here too. It's looking like it unless Invoker steals the Rampage. Oh my god. That was the biggest steal of a Rampage I've ever seen. That is so unfortunate for Jaw there.
It's the fastest kick in the West from Smack.
Yeah, that... You didn't have to pop Cataclysm there, but, okay.
But no, that was a beautiful fight for Radiant. That's what they needed. Now they have access to taking the outposts, securing more map control. Roshan opens up a lot more as well. That was the dieback from the Pango as well, so putting him far behind. And there is a DD bottom. So maybe they will look to Roche. Fighting into Roche, fighting a Pango into Roche, though, is pretty spooky, especially when he does have that Rolling Thunder. But they are going to go for it, it looks like. Dire no.
It should be a pretty quick one. I don't know if they can contest this. Maybe they can. No, 60 seconds up on Spectre ult, so probably not gonna happen. That is a quick Roche.
The DD, the medallion, the alacrity, all very powerful.
And we still Izon's has the same item for a while now. By the way, he bought this blink and he's basically stuck at it. Their mid laner really far behind.
Yeah, and that's kind of the one thing with the blink dagger is it feels far more utility than something
probably
you kind of
like
want
damage
on this mid Pango. It doesn't help the mid Pango keep increasing his power level.
No. Smack does get a roll through bottom, walking back into it as Slendy. Jaw actually rotating down. Slendy doesn't have a chance to go for a TP as he does pop the ult. They run back mid. His Brightside was the one left over. And I think they might continue to chase here. Brightside without a win run, but he gets a nice 4-staff up to the high ground. More rotations coming, but Mafuz connects on the hook, and they can look for more as Jaw has rotated into this. He's going to get disarmed. Roll through from Smack. Sev is back in here. Do take out the Aegis, and I think they can find Izon afterwards. Tornado connecting on the back. No, actually dodging on Mafuz's job, rotating back in after the Aegis pop. Cataclysm coming through onto the Sprout. Two supports dead. Roll connects. Smack with the blind roll. Mafuz just happened to be there. And I think that just means a dead Clockwork as well. I think that was a blind roll, at least. I don't think they actually had vision on the Clockwork there. Smack with a very impressive play.
They did just have vision from the ward on the high ground.
Oh, did they? Well, I thought the tree right here. Does it actually block?
It's flying.
Oh, yeah, true. Very nicely timed there from Smack, and it's not... I think we're basically guaranteeing a win for Mr. Trickz. This is a really hard one to come back from unless they throw, is I think the point in the game we're at. And we're probably at like a 99% chance in Dota Plus if I could check it, but...
It is 90 to 10. And okay. I'd agree. I think it's the point... It's not quite where it's like a loss for Radiant, but it's the point where it's a loss unless they do something on the map.
Sure.
They're trying.
They are going to go for the Invoker. They get the double Lina ult. This is something. Couple of pickoffs and 2 very big ones. And they might just be able to go for more, but unfortunately Izon missing a bit of a proc there. Slendy wants to continue running forward. On the bright side, the Force Staff used. He does have another win run. The Shackle Shot misses, already popping the win run. Slendy can continue to chase. We do have Izon with another Swashbuckle connecting this time. Gets the disarm, plus the magic damage, and Filsky with the rotation down. Will not look for any more. The only surviving members of Mr. Trickz are Nature's Prophet and the Abaddon. Jaw just farming on the other side of the map. This whole time, he's going to continue to get bigger, but you will totally take that. A lot of kills going the way of Slendy, who, by the way, Slendy has not died since that last pick-off we saw in the top jungle at about, like, I think it was like 9 minutes or something. Basically when the Hex, or the Orchid was first picked up on Job. So Slendy having, despite being really far behind, actually having a pretty nice game.
Yeah, he's coming back into it. Oh, the blink.
I mean,
Pango.
I always think, like, it's really easy to play core from ahead, right? But Slendy, being able to do this, he's still, like, contesting farm with the Invoker right now. Or at least staying up to net worth with Invoker. That's going to be really hard to do against a Nature's Prophet. Or at least stay net worth tied with Nature's Prophet. But the fact that he's doing it with Invoker is very impressive, I think. Especially without a Midas, too.
Yeah, definitely. He's doing a great job of finding the farm on the map and not getting caught, which is what you like to see. But
really,
I think at this stage, after that little bit of a blunder from Radiant, it's going to come down to, I think the next Roshan is the big time.
Yeah, tier 2 is still an open tower. Like, they could take this.
Yeah, they might. I don't think Dire really wants to contest for this tier 2.
No. He probably just waits for the high ground fight.
Yeah, you wait for the high ground fight. I don't think we're going to see anything big until that next Roshan, which is still a ways away. 3 to 8 minutes.
Which is really good for the law. Like, if it's a long Roshan timer, it's really good for the law, because it just gives Slendy more time, who's actually went for Abyssal now. He's got the Manta picked up, plus a Skull Basher. Little bit of a rotation. They're going to see if they can get pickoffs, and I think QSS just walking right into this one. They need to try and back off Spectre. Popping the Alpha Fuzz, catching out Sev inside of the Cogs. Can they bring him down? He is getting low, but do they have that last bit of burst? Out comes the Lino ult. They do get the kill, but they lose 3 heroes to the Cataclysm. Sev, they all get stunned up again. Brightside with another Shackle Shot, and I think they can just get more rolling through. Slendy cannot die here, but I think it's going to happen as he gets shackled up. So unfortunate. He can get kills in the fight, but he can't get out. They bring down the Invoker, but at what cost?
And then it looked almost unfortunate for a second because Smack was right next to the Spectre, but they engaged the other way. But then the last second Cataclysm basically just won Radiant the fight.
Yeah, I mean, when you're getting essentially 3 kills from a Cataclysm, like, it's looking pretty good. Again, Brightside connecting on these Shackle Shots is huge.
Yeah, he's putting in work. For sure.
They still have their deep push, though. We do get the hook through. It's locking out Filsky as well. Essentially a double lockdown. They do get the Grimstroke called. Bouncing through as he's on. They might not be able to find the kill on Jock as he just pops the BKB. He's, well, got a Satanic up. Cannot disarm him since he has that BKB. Filsky gonna drop, but they get the return onto Izon. Getting out of here potentially. Izon hits the Swashbuckle outside the Sprout. They can't cancel the roll from Smack. So it's just a 1-for-1, but Clock spent the buyback.
And a pause.
And it's a DC from Jaw. But still, you get the high ground defense. You do lose a lot there. But I think you're pretty happy for Smack because you didn't have to use an Aegis to do any of that. It's just you lose your Abaddon, which is totally fine. Like, the hero's just kind of designed as this gambit to go in and die. And it's making space for you. 16k gold lead for Mr. Trickz.
I'll tell you, this Abaddon's got an interesting item build. Phase, Drums, Vlads, and Basher.
Basher seems a little strange, but I mean, I'm not a big Abaddon player, so I could not comment on what the items are. I thought maybe he goes for a little bit more utility, usually, but Smack's kind of picked up some of that. with
Oh,
the
they
Veil.
see the Spectre. They may try.
I don't think they can.
Nah, they
But
see
all
all
the
the
heroes
dire.
behind Slendy.
Yeah, the thing is when Abaddon used to be played as a 3, you would constantly pick up all the auras. So you'd go for the pipes, the
Yeah.
the other one.
Yeah, which is what I'm used to, but
But I think nowadays it's a bit less clear cut. I'm honestly not the biggest fan of the Basher, just because I feel like he's not going to get a whole lot of mileage out of it. But I also don't really know what you'd want to build instead.
instead of the Basher, sure.
I feel like Abaddon's at a point where he doesn't really need items. Maybe an Aghanims. I feel like his Aghanims isn't amazing, though.
It's a
Because
lot
I'm more
of
used
farm
to
and an
seeing...
MP though. It's
Yeah,
20K
recently, he's flying ahead. And he's waiting for that Roche. It is a 2-minute spawn, so a longer Roshan spawn.
Slendy as well on the Spectre, still working on Abyssal. He's at least able to pick up an item there. He's sending his courier out to the secret shop as he's picked up the recipe for the Abyssal Blade, and I think he's going to buy the Vitality Booster right now. Potentially he just has it, actually. He just needs a little bit more gold. He will just leave it. He has bought one of the Ring of Healths, and I think he's able to back off here as he still has the... Oh, he dodges the Shackle Shot with the Manta.
Yeah, but Rolling Thunder used.
Yeah,
Moving
they will
mid.
maybe get them out. I don't think they want to commit on to Abaddon here, though. That is the risk. Is Smack going to jump in, probably pop the ult? No, he's going to get silenced. They turn it. Smack missing the roll. Cataclysm coming through, doing a lot of damage, but I think they can just disengage here. No, they hook back in. Maybe making a little bit of space. We still look for a couple Shackle Shots. Not going to come through. It's a 1-for-1. The supports both dying. So we do get the Abyssal over on Slendy. He's jumping in immediately with the Abyssal Blade as they get the kill on Invoker. Talk about efficiency. Slendy immediately putting that one to good use. They're going to get 3 kills and maybe look for Ja, who still has a BKB. Can they continue to chase? It's a bit of a risk as Ja might just be able to pop BKB in turn. They need to get a bash, but it's not going to happen.
And this is
Still
the worst
an
timing.
incredible
Roshan.
fight from Law.
Roshan in 10 seconds.
Oh, that's great for Law as well. Like, immediately they're going to get Roche if they go and check it right now. I don't know
Looks
if
like
they
they might
check
go
it,
for
though.
the tier 1
They really
instead.
do. They're just like, we haven't taken any towers. Let's go take something. Delaying the
That was,
Roche is pretty bad, though, because it does mean Invoker is going to be able to take the fight there.
They do have a roll, so that's always a big factor in those fights. But man, I can't believe Smack didn't get off the Magnetize. I was sure that he
Yeah,
was gonna hit it.
the silence. Who has the silence for them? Actually, I think it's literally
Grim.
just QSS.
Yeah.
Like, nice. As soon as the roll misses and he ends up like right in the middle of 4 heroes, it's just like, oh shit. As
man,
Roche is
Radiant
actually going to
right
go over
into
to,
Roche.
yeah. They see the timing on Mr. Trickz. You still don't have the Spectre ult to steal, but Clockwork does scout it out. Clockwork, one of the best Aegis stealers in the game. Probably behind Storm Spirit.
Well, it's good,
potentially
but
go
it's
for this.
not as good as...
Yeah, like when
good enough for him
you have
right
this
now.
kind of speed, it's just dead.
Fortunately, they're on the wrong side of the map. But Spectre has overtaken Invoker
Yeah.
and is now going for Scotty.
It's all on Slendy right now, I think. How does he want to play? He's playing really well. Like, I think this, even if they lose this game, Slendy is playing out of his mind to keep them in this.
Absolutely. But one thing to consider is Sev now has his BKB, which he didn't before.
Oh, this is big if they can find QSS, though. The roll is going to miss if Smack doesn't find him. Just playing it safe. We'll clear out some trees here to make sure QSS didn't try and retreat into them. They're not going to find, fortunately, for Grimstroke. Slendy running top. This is, like, so good about the Manta on Spectre, too, is you can play so aggressively now. You don't have to worry about an MP rotation because you can purge off that silence.
MP responding, going for a Hex. So can't purge that, but
Yeah.
it's still a ways away.
It's got a little bit yet, but this is NP farming. He is incredibly quick. We'll try and push that top tier 1, but with the Aegis, like you said, they're going to try and break the high ground. Break the Camel's back here. Make sure Slendy can't just sit high ground anymore. Is he still pushing top? You have a bit. Izan's actually top lane as well, trying to find the bounties. It looks like they do bring down the tier 3, but how do they want to start this engagement? Grimstroke runs in. They get the double abyssal as well as the roll onto 2, but where's the damage? Out comes the Lina ult. They get rid of the Aegis immediately, but can they find any more? Cataclysm coming through. Doesn't do too much. Not quite as effective as it was the last few guys, but look at the shackle shot onto 2. They get locked in. They lose potentially 1. Izan's still alive, but gets bursted down. Does have a buyback on the Pango at least. Again, Brightside is insane with these shackles. Just giving them the fight right now. Filski does not have an ult for another 7 seconds. Can they at least get one? The Abyssal actually being used by Slendy, but he might have just gone a bit too far. They're going to try and turn it on to Ja. The Aegis gone. They get the kill onto Ja. Maybe looking for Smack as well, which they do. Brightside running forward. Dodges the shackle again. Slendy, you're a madman. It's keeping him alive. Tornado through onto Izan. Cannot get the blink off. Yes, he does. He's actually using the Yules. I thought it was the Invoker Tornado, but it was his own Yules. My goodness, Law is keeping this game alive. That's a buyback from a Nature's as well to try and end the game, but they don't get it. Law
Spectre's
is still alive.
Bounty.
He does not die in this fight, and he is getting closer and closer to the Scotty. Do you buy out for it, though?
Feels really risky, but then again, Radiant have lost their Aegis and their cheese, so they can't really make a play until the next Roche, so maybe you do buy it.
30-23. We're getting close to this one. It's only a 13k lead now. If you want to look at the network chart, it's starting to go back just a bit. We can jump over to buyback as well. So I think it's starting to get to a point where buyback status is a pretty big deal. We don't have buybacks on 4 of the 5 Dire Heroes, but Lina's about to have it. Clockwork's about to have it. The only one we're waiting on is Izan had to spend his there. And he might... Oh, he's got to be so careful as he swashbuckles in and then blinks out immediately. Smack might continue to look for him, but just going to back off. They don't want to risk an engagement this far out of the base, I think, if you're Law. But we'll see what they want to do. Just running forward is Spilsky. Can they find one? So they've already gotten a TP out. Clam's just going to have to continue to run for his life, casting a couple spells to get that move speed buff. Mafuz as well, running forward. The roll forward does not connect onto anything, but they do find Izan. That's the dieback. There is an ult in from Slendy. Can they get any kills here? Clam having to back out just a bit. Out comes the Grimshakal. Yet again, they get the double. Down goes Ja. That's a dieback as well. It's the trade. Slendy needs to hit up their Yules over onto Smack to cancel the roll. He doesn't get the stun. Does miss the EMP dodge from Slendy from the Manta there. Mafuz breaking up the fight with the Cogs. They kill off Filski as well. Another shackle coming through from Brightside, but there is no follow-up this time. Insanity from Law as they continue to win these fights. QSS doing work with the Grimstroke ulti. Every single time connecting onto Ja. They get the double Laguna Blade, and they cannot stand up to the damage.
Feels like it's slipping out of your hands if you're on Radiant.
Very slowly. As soon as the Scotty comes out, the Spectre is almost impossible to kill, I think. Again, I won't say impossible, though, because I did say it was impossible for Law to win this game. And clearly, we're back into, like, I think it's like 60-40 still. But it could be closer than that. You maybe see the hook this time. Connecting Mafuz pushes him back as well. Do they have vision over onto Seb? They don't have any dust right now, but there's the sentry. They're just going to get a kill. Plus the Grimstroke ulti. BKB popped if he continues to run away. They don't have dust, but the Grimstroke ulti still doing work here. The double dagger does not come through. So unfortunately, they don't quite have the burst. It was a nice try from Mafuz. Tornado to clear out some of this. In comes the Cataclysm. Clam does take a lot of damage from that. And I think it's going to force them back. Ja up in 20 seconds.
Yeah, they have to defend their ranged Drax.
I think he buys the Scotty now. it's so risky to buy it out. He's getting very close to having enough gold in surplus.
Yeah, and if you're in the shoes of Slendy right now, I think you feel really strong because it's been so long since you've died. But at the same time,
He does buy it.
You're still one fight away from losing the game.
Yeah,
and
he does
get it.
Yeah, he just only needs 600 gold now.
Yeah, with the
to
two
get that back
bounties,
with the
that'll
bounties,
come back
it'll help.
400.
Jaw still doesn't
Now-
have it either, but the rest of the Radiant
Here's-
heroes pretty much do. There is a run forward. The Shackle Shot connects, but QSA is able to get off the invis and TP in from Jaw into the silence. That is a dead support. Down for 80 seconds on the Grimstroke. That is a very big part of their team fight.
Let's have buyback.
Jaw has
So,
now ran
here's-
bottom.
Earth Spirit. Smack has bought a BK.
Honestly, that's how he's been dying, right? Like, he rolls
Yeah.
in, misses it. He needs to get his ult off, but he gets silenced. Like, seems legit.
So, here's the thing. This third Roshan, if it's an Aghanim, I think you have to give it to Smack. I think turning someone into stone is actually how you're going to save your NP and your Invoker.
Sure. If they do get low, yeah. And then just kicking them out.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the...
I don't know
More
if it
so
breaks the
than
Grimstroke
that.
ulti, though.
That is an excellent interaction that I do not know the answer to.
Like, if it kicks them outside of the Grimstroke ulti. I know Force Staff doesn't do it, so the kick might not, even if they're stone. But we'd have to see.
Yeah, but either way, it'll still block all that damage.
Yeah.
So even if you don't kick them, it could still be very useful.
It's a minute
We'll
to
have to
Roshan.
find out. A mid-Rosh timer.
And I don't know if Law says, hey, like, this is a really good timing for us. Maybe we go out and fight. I don't know who has the advantage in this next fight. It feels like if they try and fight high ground without an Aegis, Law would definitely win. If they try and fight high ground with an Aegis
Ja.
on Mac, no,
He's
they do look
pivoted.
for it. Filski might have just been able to pick it up. He's got an Invis, which they do have vision for. They need to get dust on him, though. They still can't spot out Filski. There's the hook back in. Clam's going to be a very big target here, hitting the Force Staff forward as they still try and find out Filski. In comes the ult from Spectre. Might try and find two. They at least get onto Jaw immediately, and look at Jaw just melt. He is gone. Out goes the Laguna Blade. That BKB does nothing for you. And I think they might continue to look for more with Jaw being gone. Filski still trying to make a bit of space in the back, but a very nice cogs placed from Fuzz rolling through. Smack missing that one. Already used his BKB. They're getting very low on the Pango and the Clockwork. Roll back in for Smack. Hits the stun, but you gotta kill Slendy. How can you deal with this Spectre? He's just going ham on you right now. Buybacks all around. That's 2 from Law and 1 coming out for Mr. Trickz.
Roshan up, though. No Pango.
Still no buyback for the Pango. He's down for 80 seconds. They do
Radiant
know
will
that
know.
Roshan is up.
But they don't have
Slendy,
Ja.
nothing queued up. He does have 4,000 gold. Mr. Trickz. Smack himself could just hit the roll in. Out comes the tornado into the EMP. Can't get outside of this. Could just go for the dodge, though, which he does not hit, I believe. There's a nice hook onto the backside. Smack doesn't have his BKB for 4. Slendy trying to focus him down, but we'll just go for Brightside instead. Laguna Blade comes through, doing so much damage on the Brightside, and that's a dieback. Might look forward for Smack. He does hit the roll into the Spectre, pops the BKB, but gets no use out of it. And now forward onto Filski, who doesn't have an ultimate. Buyback from Smack as they do get the Cataclysm onto one. Mafuz taking a lot of damage from that. Smack looking for the roll onto Clam, nails it, but is going to get silenced up. Blinking back forward, that's actually the flicker from Clam to get out. You do get the Grimstroke ulti onto 2, locking 7 now, as maybe they can get the Abyssal through onto 7. Can they bring him down? The clicks come through. Mafuz gets the last hit with the rocket flare, and now on the backside, Clam missing a stun. You need a little bit of space to bring out Smack as he's still looking for this, canceling the roll. Back to the base is the Spectre. Look at the creeps. They're hitting onto the tier 4. Smack going forward, missing the roll. Ja TPing in. Hits the stun, and Clam might just get a kill right now. Smack's gone a bit too far into the rocket, needs to go for the roll away, and I don't think they can really chase any further. Slendy has ult in 3 if he wants to get this kill. I think he might be able to, actually, get both even.
I don't know if it's worth it if he pops that ult.
Oh my god, the hook from Mufasa, and they get it! He goes top as well to try and bring down Jaw. Does not have the Abyssal, but instantly gets a bash. Look at Jaw, just gets so slowed. Pops the Manta as well as the Dagger. Jaw going for the TP. Bash. There it is. Trying to go for more. Is there another one? Yes, there is. Lina TPing in. He can't get away. It comes the stun from Clam, and Jaw is dead for 100 seconds.
And right next to the Roshan pit.
I think they pushed tier 2s.
If they even go for it.
I don't know what the call is right now. Invoker is up in 20 seconds.
It's slowly turning, and I don't think you can fight without Jaw. I don't think you're gonna.
That's their biggest damage dealer. Invoker's starting to not do a lot late into this game. Slendy has the man done it. Incredible play from Lal late into this game. We do get a tornado through, bringing up both the catapults as well. Slutty does not have a Manta to get out of this, but he's just going to jump forward into the hook. Pushback as well from the Cogs. Zev is able to get a BKB off, but the damage from the Laguna Blade as well as a couple bashes, they can't get him away from the Invoker. He has to pop the buyback immediately. Back onto the tier 3s they go. Filsky does not have the ultimate. He's trying to stay alive with this AC, but with that gone, this fight almost impossible for Mr. Trickz to take. Through the EMP, Slendy is just not... Oh, he misses it that time too. Shackle Shot connects onto some crease. We get the buyback from Filsky, but down goes one Rax. That is melee gone. The range still standing. So they might back up and look for the Roche. Oh my goodness.
It's a beautiful high ground taken. This is just the Spectre effect coming into play.
Oh yeah, dude. They play it safe, Matt. They don't want to push for that range Strax. But onto the Roche. I think they need to contest this. The Spectre ult up in 14. They need to get vision on this. The rocket flying through. How quick is this one gonna go? 8 seconds up.
Should fall really fast here.
In comes the
Dire
Grimstroke.
really in a
3
position to
seconds.
contest.
3 seconds. They need to get vision on top of this. The Spectre ult probably gonna come through very soon. It's not gonna be in time.
They put the cheese onto Jaw, Aegis onto Invoker.
Where is... Do we not have the Aghnums yet?
A refresher. It was Aegis 3, so
oh,
we
yeah.
got a refresher.
Refresher on Seb
refresher
seems
orb.
legit. Yeah, so he's gonna have, what, 4 Cataclysms then?
3.
Is it 3? Okay, 1, you refresh it, 2, you refresh it, 3. Oh, yeah. Because wait, doesn't Refresher Orb refresh Refresher? Or does it not?
I believe it specifically does not.
Okay.
If my memory is correct. But honestly, a double Cataclysm, if they have
Even triple.
good lockdown.
Yeah, it's just, can they get the lockdown, though?
I mean, the 2-hero Shackle, and you can eliminate 2 heroes pretty quickly. And I don't even think you would need the 3rd. I want to talk for a second, while I got a moment. Clam has been, I think, the silent killer for Dire. Like, we're looking at the Spectre a lot, but Clam has been dealing a ton of damage in fights.
Oh, yeah, dude. Look at his items! Like, I kind of want to flop back to net worth here really quick. And Lina, the support... Or was this the core Lina? I can't remember how they leaned it. It was the 3 Lina, right?
Yeah, I have to imagine they just played it mostly as the 3 this game.
Above his own mid
from my
laner.
memory.
Like...
Yeah, well, now Pango's the off lane. It's a 2 Lina from the off lane.
Yeah.
Apparently.
It ends up being... It kind of works out for them. They took this Aegis, though, Matt, and they're still not pushing yet. I think they're just playing it a little bit safe. We'll see if they hit the timing, or if they just let the Aegis expire.
I think unlikely to see a real fight from them. I think they're looking to maybe get 1 or 2 more items if they can, to give themselves a bit more potency in the fight, in the next fight. So, for example, we have the upgrade to the Orchid, that Bloodthorn coming for Jaw. We have the MKB coming for Brightside. I think they feel that they're just a little bit weaker right now.
See how they want to approach. This high ground still, I mean, that's a pretty big mountain to climb. Trying to push high ground even with the Aegis.
Yeah, pushing into especially just Lena, Grimstroke, and Pango.
He's got a B-Fly on Slendy. I don't know what he goes next. He's got 5k gold, though.
This stage, you probably swap out the drums. Maybe look for like an AC, or if you want some more stats, a heart. But he's pretty open. You could also swap out the treads for some travels. I think travels are a bit underrated.
I think you get rid of the drums first, though, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, he still has a charge on it, somehow.
Oh, Ezon.
Oh, Ezon's a little bit out here, but he's going to be able to walk away. He's got mech boots as well, so he can purge away some of this. What is Clockwork on for talents? Rocket Flare, True Sight, hell yes.
Yeah, they have the Rocket Flare, True Sight, and a gem on Grimstroke.
Yeah. Top Slendy's a little bit close to smack. You do get a TP up as well. This is a lot of TPs up. Can he get out of this one? He needs to get the Spectre almost immediately. Is not able to purge any of this off because he's already used the Manta. He's going to get stunned up as well. Not looking good for Slendy as he gets the Abyssal out. Popping the ult, but can he actually get away? There's the Shackle Shot, locking him to a tree. Can they save him, though? I don't think it's going to be there as Slendy drops, has the buyback. They do get the trade for Smack, but a little bit far out. Shackle this time missing. Cannot get the Sprout. Rolling forward is Ezon. Maybe he can get another one, but it's kind of risky. Ezon probably just needs to back out. He actually misses the roll there, is able to pop the Minotaur Horn to ensure he can at least swashbuckle up to the high ground. You probably want to save the buyback for Slendy here. Just a little bit too far out. Costly mistake there for Law.
Man, I mean, he goes down, but you saw how much it took. 5 heroes on him, bash him down, and they lose the Earth Spirit just to the refraction, pretty much.
Yes. Like, I think you're right, though. He probably goes for heart or something, and that makes that kill base. It's like even harder. You don't really need a BKB.
No, I feel like the heart is probably enough. Satanic feels a bit weak on Spectre.
Oh, Egg is gone. You have the roll through. Ezon maybe looking for just a stun or something.
Nice little
He's able to
side
just
step.
get away. He's just making space. They need to get rid of the creep wave top as well.
That Aghanims is going to be exceptionally powerful.
30 seconds until Slendy is back up. You really want to save this as they try and get rid of the creeps here. Popping out the Fortify. And it will save the buyback from Slendy because I think they're going to have 20 seconds here. They almost bring down Filsky, who is just maybe going to die right now. He's going to try and turn it, but that was not the play.
It's a lot of damage on Dire. You can't
That is
ignore it.
Laguna Blade doing so much work.
Alina dealing 2,000 damage between the
13
spam and
kills for
right
Clam.
click.
Same as his carry. 100 seconds without Filsky.
Okay, Jaw going for the counter, going for the Silver Edge to make that.
Did he get the Hex
Spectre
yet?
much more killable.
No, he just...
He switched it over to a Lincoln.
Oh, no. Ja, TP bottom. I don't think he wants to be here, though. If they can get vision on top of him, this is not the play. He's going to get stunned up, I think. They have the time. No, he's on misses it, but he's still going to get stunned. He's on. Where are you going? He's outside of the map. But they get the kill. What the hell just happened?
That was so optimistic of him to not pop.
Oh, the stun roll up from Clam. He's going to miss the stun because of the BKB. They try and turn it. There's a buyback from Jaw. He's still got a Manta, though, as he pops it off. Slendy's just going to try and turn this. He's almost completely alone. Has the ultimate on cooldown, so he can't really escape from this. Slendy might just die for the second time. Still has the drum charge, but he's taking so much damage into the Cataclysm. Down goes Slendy. Oh, no. A little bit too optimistic on both sides. Oh, that was a unfortunate flicker there.
Man, I can't believe the sheer titanium balls on Jaw, and with that TP out, didn't BK beat. And if he had, he would have gotten out.
That's a buyback too. So even though you lose Slendy, you have the buyback advantage now.
Yeah, but that's probably, I mean, Jaw's buyback is so important.
There is a lot of costly mistakes down the stretch, though. It got a little bit baited into chasing the Wind Ranger. Or no, that was actually chasing Smack, who Smack is incredibly tanky right now. 3.4k HP.
BKB, the levels, he's level 25.
Forward, Brightside looking for a shackle. There might be a rotation from Jaw as well. He does pop the Minotaur horn so he can get the ultimate off, and he is probably gone. So there's no canceling that. Mid lane, Filsky going for a little bit. Brink over, the roll is still going. Filsky probably not going to die here because they have to get through that ultimate. He's actually just going to pop BKB. Jaw running in, has a Yules over on the Pengo as well as Mech Boots. It's going to get tornadoed up by the Invoker as well as QSS, able to get the ult off, not actually latching to anybody. There it goes. Mafuz trying to make a little bit of space. Double Yules. Izon somehow still alive here. They focus down into the tier 3s. Out goes the Abaddon ult. Still don't have Slendy for another 10 seconds. And I think they're going to last that long. They did lose the tier 3. Oh, and they can't cancel the TP either. The Yules on cooldown.
On cooldown. Another long Roche spawn.
Yeah. Dude, this Roche spawn, he just does not want to be in this game.
No, he's tired of being farmed.
56 minutes into this game. 38 to 39. Only a 4k gold lead, dude. What the fuck?
It's
We've
crazy.
come all the way back.
Jaw has the Silver Edge. A big item that'll take away, what is it, like 25%?
Yeah, it is a lot.
So that's powerful. This Roshan will definitely have the Aghanims in it.
You still think you give it to Smack?
Well,
if they
take
it.
the alternatives. All right, Jaw, his Aghanims is pretty. Nature's Aghanims is pretty underwhelming.
Yeah,
Brightside's Aghanims isn't bad, but I don't think it changes the game.
No, I think you're right. Jaw's probably, or not Jaw. Smack is probably the best option. As we do get a little bit of fight. QSS is so far over here. He's got the gem too, but in comes the Spectre. They don't get the double ult, but they do get at least a block down onto Seb. Can they bring him down? Though Smack is just getting annihilated. And still 2 kills immediately at the double buyback. They're bringing down Jaw. He does not have the buyback. He's already used the Satanic. Down goes Jaw. Slendy is unstoppable with the double kill right now. Vilsky gonna get slowed up. The dagger doing so much work, slowing down to the stun. The stun from Clam on the backside, locking them all in. Out comes the BKB from Sev, but they lose everybody around him. Izon keeping Sev locked in. Do they have vision? I don't think so. As again, Clam just barely misses with that one. Sev's still running through this. They have the gem, looking for the Abyssal Blade if he can get in range for it. They have him visioned with the dagger as well. Smack's gonna get caught out, is gonna be able to use the Abyssal Stun, missing just slightly the Tornado to make a bit of space for Slack, but he gets stunned up by the Clockwork. Locked in and down is Smack, stun up onto Seb, and I think they might have just taken this game because that's gonna be the dieback for Seb and Smack. They have done it. Law making an incredible comeback of almost 15k gold. I think MVP of the series. I don't even care about game 2, dude. MVP of the series is Sev, or not Slendy for sure.
What a long, brutal climb up that hill for Dire.
Oh my
They
goodness.
did it.
They have done it, confirmed. Oh my goodness.
What a game 1, dude. And now we've got another game. That was only 1.
I don't know what's gonna happen game 2. Sometimes like you kind of get tilted by losing a game like that when you're so far ahead.
Yeah, definitely. It could be tough. They had such a solid advantage. But, you know, I think one of the things is that's kind of the issue with those timings, you know? With the push lineup like that, if you get the tower at like 18 minutes to tier 2, then you have the outpost, then you start scaling, you know, it builds up. And they were just like a minute or 2 behind those timings in the early game. And that might have been enough, you know? If they had just gotten it a little bit faster, maybe that game goes the other way. So close.
So how did they play this here? The Law basically went for the super late game lineup. I thought it was the outdraft that played really well. They picked like this incredibly quick lineup for Mr. Trickz, but it just you lose a couple of fights in the mid game and the game is just over. So how do you change? Do you just run it back almost?
So if you're on the side of Trickz, and this isn't necessarily the most accurate portrayal of the game, but what you say is, okay, guys, we played a game into a Spectre that went 50 minutes, and they have a Spectre. That's just how the game goes, and that's what you say. That's what you say to yourself to not let the loss get to you, right? Obviously, you can worry about, well, we should have hit our timings earlier. We almost won it, but at the end of the day, you can fall back on that cushion of it was a Spectre in the late game, and we had a Nature's Prophet. Like that's just a bad late game matchup. So I think you can look at the game sort of from that perspective and say, all right, that's fine. Let's go in. And they can even run the same style of draft, as long as they realize that the problem is that game went a bit too late for their draft.
All right, I need to like grab a snack or something and take a drink of water because that's a fucking hell of a game.
No worries.
I will be right back.
You got it.
All right, I had you muted by the way, so if you said anything crucial.
I didn't say much because we got it.
Guys, we just played a 56-minute game.
Talking about how the Tiny got through, and then it's all been blown out of the water with the Techies pit.
10 seconds remaining.
That is insane.
Radiant team, bang. 10 seconds remaining.
So, Dire
Red team ban.
aren't instantly committing for that same draft. They're changing things up, it would seem.
Oh god, dude, I'm still recovering. Hold on.
No worries. Don't worry. I'll hold on to some stuff. So we don't have the win so far, which I've seen picked basically every single game Sev's in, but they elect not to go for it. Obviously, Tiny's in the pool, so that makes sense to pick that up. But honestly, I don't know how to deal with this Techies pick because I don't know how Techies works.
Okay. Sorry, I'm catching my breath. Okay. Yeah, Chaos Knight Techies. Chaos Knight's been very popular recently. You get these like big strength cores, melee cores. Weird thing is, Timbersaw still in the pool, but I don't think Timbersaw is very big. I think Timbersaw can be decent into Chaos Knight, but it kind of just depends. You need burst for the illusions. Could still go. Oh god, I think Kyle is really good at dealing with illusions, but I don't know if Kyle is a big pick at all right now.
I feel like the classic counter to CK that I've been seeing picked up is the Winter Wyvern. But I don't think you have that option, given that you've already picked the Tiny Grim, unless you want to run the Tiny Mid. We could see a Zeus mid for the
Shout out to followers, by the way. I just hit 100 followers on Twitch, so
dude,
shout out
huge
to everybody.
You know what? I just realized I haven't followed you. Make it 101.
Oh shit! Oh, Twitch hasn't updated yet. Hold on.
That's okay.
Twitch. Oh, it's still at 100. I don't know how this works. Anyway, it'll probably.
No worries. It'll pop up at some point. You got a Jakiro.
Picked up as well. I like Jakiro in the lane. I think if they do like a Chaos Knight Jakiro lane, it's really strong, especially into like. It's probably going to be Tiny 5, Grimstroke 4, or I mean, they could flip those either way. Maybe do like an aggressive tri lane into a Techies lane or something. But
yeah, I always like Jakiro. I think he's just really stable. You know, he's like Jakiro as a support to me is kind of like Juggernaut as a carry, which is like he's kind of good every game. You never feel bad when you have a Juggernaut on your team. He always does something, you know, unless he gets totally shut down. Jakiro's kind of the same way for support.
Like, Juggernaut's not bad into Techies either, because you can dodge most of the damage that he's going to throw at you.
Yeah, that's been very powerful for the land or for the remote mines. They will take a Legion. I like it. It's another solid pickup against the CK. And I am kind of worried what the CK is going to do if he gets overwhelming odds, Stroke of Fate, and like Avatos. Fuck Magnus. Is Magnus mid dead? Or do you think that Law will play this mid?
I think it's Magnus offlane is mostly what I've been seeing. Or you could do like the meme dude, the old days when you would run like Techies Magnus. Techies Magnus is so much fun.
Yeah, it doesn't work quite as well anymore since you
no, because you can't stack the mines, but it still does some work. Like you can still skewer them into a bad spot and then just have mines like all the way around.
Zeus is another one of those heroes. He feels really good against Illusion heroes. He is a bit susceptible to the Magnus and the CK. He'll have to be very well protected.
Do you think this is a mid Zeus?
But I like him.
Like guaranteed it's a mid Zeus? I think they could run Tiny mid maybe and put like Zeus as a 4 role.
Maybe, but Zeus 4s feels underwhelming to me. He had his sort of moment of popularity, but the mana cost on him is just so high. And for a 4, all he really offers is damage. Like the mini stun is okay, but it's not anything to write home about. with tiny, when you have the tiny as the 4, you have that high burst damage, but you also have really good control and the repositioning. Also, I think Zeus kind of isn't really a hero until he gets his Aghanims nowadays. It's all about the minions.
Sure. Do you think they run CK offlane here?
I've been seeing it a bit. I'm not the biggest fan of it, because usually it just ends up being a carry that has a bad lane. And I feel, I guess you could run it, but CK Techies also feels a little strange. I guess you do have a long duration stun, but I'd prefer to see it safe lane.
5 seconds remaining.
Oh, Odin takes
Although it
this
looks
one.
like Trickz think it is an off lane. As they're banning 2 carries.
And Quam panic. Okay, I'll let him looking at general. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, I think this is probably actually going to end up being the CK3. I'm not a fan. I prefer CK1, but I think that's how it's going to go down.
Trollbane, nice dealer.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Yo, we definitely, Carl Squid, we definitely talked up Delina in last game. I seem to remember multiple times where Matt is talking up Lena in that game. Clam is also a very, very well played in that last game.
No, that Lena did amazing. It was the silent killer.
Silent killer. Although it's pretty loud. Laguna Blade is one of those abilities where even if like everything is going on in a team fight, you're still gonna hear that sound effect. Like,
yeah, but I think the Laguna Blade wasn't really the main source. It was that like sort of slow. I mean, obviously not slow, but the fast right clicks with the stuns.
yeah.
Like she's doing a lot of work, but it's not like a Spectre haunt into a stun as she kills.
Yeah. Well, I think it's you gotta point out the Grimstroke too, just how much work that hero does late into the game. Like it's a really good support late into the game because it pierces BKB. You just can't walk away. It's like guaranteed lockdown unless the 2 teammates are gonna like basically retreat.
So it is a 3 CK. Law will pick up the Juggernaut. Trickz will pick up the PA.
Yeah.
PA seems vulnerable to this lane. I'm a little scared for the poor PA.
To his CK techies. Yeah, you just stun with CK and then techie suicide, right? Like.
Yeah, but there is the Grimstroke with the PA, so they have a lot of kill potential as well.
I don't know, because CK is really tanky and techies can just suicide. Like, it seems like it would be strong, but I think very heavy advantage in lane is CK techies.
Yeah.
Against PA Grimstroke.
He's just such a good laner. Offlane, I think Pilski will do fine, but Smash's gonna have trouble rotating, I think.
Tiny can do it, but yeah, you're right. It's not as good as the Earth Spirit.
Well, I think it's also just this game, like rotating onto Izan is going to be tough because he has the skewer, so it's hard to get that toss back setup when he can just leave.
It's hard to get kills on Slendy in lane just because of spin. Yeah. QSS is probably your main target. Maybe
but
you can run
in the mid game though. His damage is really good. Like he can kill 3 out of the 5. Pretty easily.
Well, on to game 2 we go. We'll see what happens. I think one of 2 things. I think if I'm gonna predict something, I think it's either gonna be a stomp and Law is gonna take game 2. Because usually you kind of see that happen after... You remember, like, TI6, when EG beat eHome after being down Megas. eHome comes out game 2 and they just get stomped. Like, I think losing a game where you're so far ahead is just, like, such a mental deficit, or, like, it's mental damage. And it's hard to get into game 2, knowing that game 1 was basically in your hands and you lost.
Yeah, so I'll say, looking at these drafts, not really thinking too much about the actual game ahead of us, or the mental state of the players. I think it's gonna be a stomp one way or the other. I don't see recovery options from either team.
Like, they don't have this Spectre that can just farm late in the game.
Yeah.
Like,
and both teams are, if they get ahead, are going to press that lead very hard. Like, if this PA gets crushed in lane, the game might just be over. Because Jaw has no recovery. But if the Juggernaut is getting crushed back,
maybe we have
the same thing. Radiant have a bit better recovery. They have a Techies, they have Empower, so they have that delay.
Yeah, but delay for what, though? Like, Chaos Knight farming or Jug farming?
Dire is... Dire, if they get ahead, Dire is going to press that advantage so hard.
Right.
And I think that's what we really got to be looking out for. Is these lanes are going to matter a lot more than last game, I think.
Well, we'll see how they want to play against Jaw early. The right click from Techie's obviously not doing a lot of damage, but it's that over time really comes to the big effect. This Brightside has now rotated top. Yeah, and I think... What's the right click on CK, actually? I know it's very...
It's super high
57
variance.
to 87 compared to PA, whereas highest is 57. It's 58. So a little bit outmatched there.
Yeah, but PA has the dagger, which is going to secure him a lot of CS and harass. But it's going to be tough. This CK feels pretty powerful.
Yeah. Brightside might need to be a little bit careful taking too much harass here from Clam, because I think as soon as he gets to like 50% HP, that can commit a stun plus suicide. But if you do commit the suicide aggressively, it does mean Jaw can just blink dagger you and potentially get a kill in return.
Yeah. If the opportunity is there, they have a lot of kill potential, especially once they hit level 2 on Brightside, which they do now. One thing to think about too is Brightside could always get an early point in the silence to prevent that suicide.
I think that's worth it too. You gotta stay close to the Techies in that case, but because the silence takes a little bit to come out, and you can just see it coming.
Oh, mid Sev pushed under tower.
Does get the skewer, and he gets the last hit too. Look at the right click, almost up to 100 damage from the Empower. And a sick play from Izon to get first blood. He was behind in terms of CS. He doesn't have too much regen either, so he's got to be careful.
Yeah, you have to be very careful on 7 this mid lane. Izon just
top
has so
lane,
much
just a bit of
damage.
grass. Okay. I thought maybe we're going a little bit up in HP there.
Now, Izon will have a salve, I believe.
Bottle.
Oh, bottle. Okay.
Should be able to get rune control though.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, I think, though. As I think this matchup will sort of naturally swing over to Seb's favor as he gets more levels, but at the same time, as Izon gets more levels, he can rotate into the jungle. So, I don't know how much more action we're going to see.
I'll toss back in. They're doing a bit of damage to QSS, but I don't think they can really follow this up with anything, especially when the spin's going to come out immediately after it's a level 2 spin. Can they bring down Smack? The stun from QSS. He went for the 1-1-1, and he's able to actually get the kill. He has Wand plus Fairy Fire if he wants to try and turn this. He's baiting in Filsky. Can't get the slow out in time, though, to actually pick up the kill. Nice play there from QSS, though. I dig the 1 level and stun. I'm not sure how I feel about the Liquid Fire, because I usually skip that one early, but it works. It's fine. Especially against Tiny, because his attack speed's so slow anyway.
Yeah, it feels like it's a good value point. It's also 0 mana,
Yeah,
so you can toss it all the time.
it's a good point. Maybe I should rethink, because I've lost a lot of Jakiro games recently. Seb going for the Arcane Rune does get a bottled, unfortunately, there for Izon. Able to pop it. I don't think Izon can commit to this too much. He does have a Fairy Fire, but the right clicks are coming through. Fairy Fire from Seb as well. Izon might have just gone too far because the rotation from Smack is here out of nowhere with the boots. And bottom lane, they might be going on to Filski. There's a bit of a spin. We've lost Techie's top to a deny. Jaw getting a little low there. He's able to pop a salve.
The ghost latched as the Techie was in midair. It was unable to prevent the deny.
Okay.
But yeah, that's good for Sev. That's going to give him solid presence in this lane.
Yeah, I do think they maybe are underutilizing their power right now on the CK Techies. It feels like they could just be constantly going at PA. It's Brightside going to look up high ground, get the bounty rune at 5 minutes. Should be able to go 2-2 here. Yep. Actually bottling one is Seb, so that's really good for him.
Yeah, he needed some of that mana back. And I think now both of these mid laners are just going to farm away. Oh, a suicide up top.
Yeah, they're going to try and go at him, but I don't think they quite have the damage. They're just getting him low. They don't want to commit too far, but the right click is there from Brightside to bring down the mine. Suicide is on cooldown, so he can't deny himself this time, but the mine almost bringing down Ja. They get the stun out. Out comes the Zeusol. They keep Ja alive, but look at this mine. He's already right-clicked it on Brightside, as they still can't get the kill. Reality Rift is here, but he's not quite in range for trying to get the stun off. Needs a little bit more HP, though. The silence coming out from Brightside. Clam, you can't chase this too far, because Jock can just throw a dagger back at you. Do you have a 3-charge wand as he tries to go for it? Gets the last hit. And I think Brightside might be able to finish him off as he pops the wand. Brightside doesn't have any mana of any kind to try and chase this further. And bottom lane 2, we get another stun, this time out onto Smack. Can they commit for this? It's a level 3 spin. Smack could turn with the stun as well, and they will back off from Slendy. They might try and turn this even, but I think just the right clicks out from Slendy is insane.
So I'll be honest, I don't know if that kill on the Jaw is actually going to benefit the CK here. He's forced to go all the way home. He's missing out on a couple waves.
Filski bottom might just die here. It has popped the heal, but it is not enough as QSS gets the last hit. Not a lot of these mines are actually going off, by the way. Brightside's just able to click like 90% of these. Suicide coming in misses completely. Straight into the stun. CKH Clam trying to save, but Mafuz still going to take a lot of damage here. Has another mine very soon. Going to try and pop it, stand on top of it to do a little bit more damage. As Jaw taking quite a bit. Does get the last hit with the dagger, and Clam getting juked right there around the trees. Not picking up a kill on his own, trying to focus back in onto Brightside. This is completely underneath the tier 1. Gets 2 bashes, 2 crits in a row. And comes the Inkswell. Doesn't want to stay too far underneath the tower. The Inkswell does get the stun off. Could just turn, pop the stun back onto Brightside. You're dying to a PA here, which I don't think is worth 3 times kill 300 gold into Jaw.
Yeah, and meanwhile mid, Smack is here.
Another stun up. They do get the skewer away from Izon. Is there a Zeusol? He does not have the mana. He does not have the mana. It would have finished him off, but just not enough. And I think Izon's going to live because he is able to bottle back up.
Yeah, the CK maybe feeling...
Filski bottom might just drop here, spin through. Does have the Omni Slash to follow this one up, but Filski now pop heal and try and turn it. Brightside's rotated down. Smacktrix looking for the stun. Does hit it into the silence. Down goes the Jug. Slendy a bit too aggressive.
Unfortunate. Level 5 still on the Legion.
Level 7 on Jaw too. They're doing an okay job trying to nullify how much farm he's getting up here, but still it seems like he has a bit more space than the Juggernaut, but behind in terms of CS, but only slightly. He is ahead in terms of net worth, just because of those couple kills he's able to pick up.
Smack.
This is a rotation from Seb with the haste rune. He's able to maybe chase for Izon here, as this time he does have the mana for the ultimate if he wants to use it. The skewer away into underneath the tier 2. Sev looking for the stun, does hit it. The TP taking a bit too long. Slendy looking for the ultimate, but the stun missed from QSS. They're going to lose 2 because Techie's dying top to Jaw.
This is a solid start for Jaw.
Again, looking strong is Mr. Trickz. And like you said, they don't have a lot of comeback potential. You got to be careful how you're going to play around Slendy. Do not have that Spectre this time.
Yeah, and this if Jaw.
He is going for the Battle Fury, so a bit of a slower build.
I've been seeing Battle Fury Deso is pretty much the standard.
Stun through onto Filski. We do not have a spin quite yet, but maybe they can get the damage. Out comes the ult, but it's all into Smack. What are the odds? Smack is going to tank all of it. Spin through. Filski, you got to be careful with the duel. Trying to get it off onto Smack. He's going to get it off underneath the tier 2. I don't know if that was worth it because you give up the win.
Yeah, that's the duel. That's damage. That's your carry dying.
Yeah.
That's starting the game for your Legion.
Very big commitment there for Slendy. He's died twice.
Those tier 2s are scary.
But they are going to get 3 bounties here. 8 to 8. Slight gold lead for Mr. Trickz, but it's still pretty even. They're looking pretty solid going into this game too. So all of my predictions are of course wrong.
It's the caster curse. Slendy's coming up top.
Well, it's also just because I'm terrible at predicting those kinds of things, but
Gotcha.
I wouldn't call it a curse. Because then it puts blame on me, which I don't like.
I don't like it when it's my fault.
Yes.
I understand. I mean that's just the Dota player mindset. It's not my
Dude, you can tell that I played Dota.
fault.
Top lane, we do get a stun coming in from Smack. Spin is going to be there. Clam's not going to connect. We do have a duel up very soon. Clam's going to turn around, throw out a stun. Can they actually fight this, though? They're running over into the trees. You got to be careful of the mines, but you lose the courier for CK. Clam losing at his treads there. Dude, is this a meteor hammer rush on CK? What the fuck?
It looks like it.
This is a weird build.
This is my problem with the CK3 is you have to play it differently, but it doesn't feel good.
Right? Like you don't want to
Yeah.
just build a carry. But at the same time, like what do you build? A blade dagger? A meteor hammer?
Apparently
None of that
meteor
really
hammer.
feels good.
Apparently.
I guess you're thinking you get a long stun and that sets up a meteor hammer, but I don't know about that.
It does. It depends, right? We get the toss back into Clam, maybe looking for a dual ink spell to come through, as well as the stun. Can they actually kill the CK with the duel, though? They will just get the hits out for now very efficiently from Filski as he gets the mana back for the duel. There it is. Very nicely played there from Filski as we are looking for the RP. Not actually going to use it as just the DD from Izon as he cannot get the kill onto Smack, unfortunately. We'll try and focus down onto Filski instead. Out comes the Grievous Struggle onto 2, but there's not really any lockdown as they're both getting aggressive here. Not really benefit from the lockdown. Slendy is probably going to drop to the Zeus. Sev with the late TP up. Brightside with the tip onto Slendy, and they're going to have to back off. QSS probably going to live because of the wand charges, as well as the passive cloak there.
And this is a
Cognitive choice from Radiant to pressure tier 1 with 4 heroes right now, and it's not working. And that's bad when your game plan is failing, because this whole time Jaw's just farming away.
Yeah.
He's having a fine time.
Filski's getting a lot of damage too early on for the Legion.
Felsi's getting good damage. Sev getting involved.
Techie's not really
Already
doing
has
too
an
much.
Aether.
He has 6, but he's not really getting any mine traps out that are potentially dangerous yet.
He's just protecting this bottom tier 1, playing
Yeah.
it almost like a Venomancer, where he's decided that this
tower will stay up.
He's placing all these mines underneath it so that if they decide to fight here, they can go for RP skewer, I think. But they might not be pushing tier 1 for a little bit.
Yeah.
LaFuzz
I
doesn't
think
want
if
to show
you're-
here.
Yeah, I think if you're Dire, you're kind of okay with this game state right now. Like once you get the Aghanims
Gotcha.
on the Zeus, maybe you want to start fighting.
PA, you really want the Battle Fury Deso before you're gonna start
Jaw?
getting involved.
There's 2 mines here. I don't think it kills though.
No, it's gonna be a
If
tough
you suicide, maybe it kills. But he's gotta get over here first.
I mean, level 1 mine is only 300 damage, so there's no way.
800. Well,
And-
plus the suicide, I think that's possible. But
Oh, with the suicide, yes, but the mines on their own, probably not.
yeah,
But
he's
putting down more mines.
he's gonna bait it, dude. He just needs a bit of mana for the suicide. If Jaw goes back to farm the camp, as we do get a fight top, in the meantime, we'll have to go pay attention to that. It's gonna get stunned up from the Inkswell over onto Ezon. Out comes the Jugger ult, but he looks like he canceled it. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
he
looking
stopped,
bottom.
canceled it.
I'm looking bottom. Mafuzz, you gotta get over here. This is the opportunity. He's got 4. Oh no, I think he had it. I'm a little surprised he didn't go for it there.
Maybe if you don't get it, like what I'll say, if from the perspective of that techies, is if you don't get it the
QSS
first
probably
time, you
gonna die here.
never get it.
True. There's a dead QSS. Unfortunately, he has to use the ultimate like that. Is that a new... Is that a new immortal for Jakiro?
I think he got one recently,
God, that looks dope.
but I'm not sure. So yeah, see now he's got more mines. Probably
I think now
more
it's
mines.
guaranteed, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he could have gotten it with 4. If Jaw comes back down here to push in the tower,
Yeah, he has to make sure that he gets it the first time. 'Cause
yes.
Like I said, if he doesn't, it'll never happen. TA will never fall
Yeah,
to that.
you do have a point, because you just don't run back to that camp. Ezon might
Yeah.
just drop mid. He's taking a lot of damage that can maybe continue to chase, but he actually picked perfectly there. High ground. Right on the very edge.
7,000
And
gold.
again, Mr. Trickz looking pretty good early on in this game. Not quite the lead they had in game 1, but still, this is a lead you can safely build.
Yeah, but also this game, they have a carry that will fare very well in the late game. Like, they're not as hard stuck in their timing. Smack, 200 gold from his Blink, and Sev is only about 900 away from his Aghanim, so they're getting their timings really well. And Legion already has her.
Blink on Ezon, not going to connect onto the Zeus, but you get the silence follow-up. He doesn't have the skewer to get away from this one. The duel comes out, and he might just drop to it. She does, because they have all of the magic damage there. Try to go for the aggressive play, but it's not going to work out. Maybe you can bring down Smack. You do, but it is not the trade you want. At the end of the day, bottom lane going for the TP out is Slendy. Crits are not going to be there. And maybe this is where you get the opportunity, because Jaw's going to walk over and farm this camp. That is already been farmed by the Juggernaut.
And that's a lot of mines.
Oh, he's going to miss it.
Still might
Oh.
walk near enough.
Oh, if the camp was there, dude. If the camp was there,
No,
Jugger...
here's the thing. He might go for it after this wave.
Sure.
Forget the
59.
rest of the game. This is the most important part.
I just want to see a big explosion kill somebody. That's all this game's for. Again, he's on missing the skewer. Unfortunately. Okay, Jaw. Okay, Jaw. I know you want to farm bottom so bad, because look at this. You can take the tier 1 after, too. It's so efficient. Stay out of the triangle. The triangle sucks. Damn it, Jaw.
The triangle, only Archon's been playing the triangle, right?
Yeah. What is this? Come on. Yes. He's moving that way. We do lose mid tower. That's a sick deny from QSS. Oh my gosh, dude. Is this
Here
it?
it comes.
Is
Here it
this
comes.
it?
Here it comes.
Jaw, he sniffs it. He likes it. Techies?
He's not paying attention.
Techies? But Fuzz!
PK pings! It's okay. There's a new camp again in 7 seconds. Jaw will go back. Surely this time.
Unless he
Techies
blocks
will
it.
No, he's not gonna block it. But the pings are
Mafuzz,
there.
come on. You gotta look at it. You gotta watch it, dude. Yes!
There it is!
Yes! We got blue balled for so long. Oh my god. We finally get it. Ezon's gonna miss the skewer yet again, but they still get a kill at least.
Yeah, the silence came out before he was able to get it off, unfortunately.
All right, this game's over. We can call GG
Oh,
now.
they're gonna do it!
I think they're gonna be able to get one
Blink
smack.
skewer.
No, they don't even need it,
They're
dude.
not even going to.
Like he's yeah, just waste the mines. Oh my
Look at that,
goodness.
though. Farming those mines in the mid lane.
Yeah. Easy 10 gold. Huh?
But now
QSS?
things get
So much harder for Radiant.
QSS got to be careful here. QSS, you do not have any kind of defense here. Filsky's going to blink in. They have the burst, the stun coming through, not in time. The egg's already up on Seb.
Yeah, that Nimbus
50 damage.
basically secure any kill for Filsky.
Jaw rapidly approaching that Desolator.
They want to force out this techies, but it's not easy.
We have the blink RP. That's the next one we got to look for. This one's probably less of a chance of happening, though.
But Izon's been struggling.
Either missing skewers or getting silenced.
Yeah.
Dueled
It's a
before he can
rough
get his
Magnus
skills
game
off.
for sure. We need... I think they can fight this, honestly. With the mines, they could potentially go for this.
Radiant are coming over. They're smoked.
You gotta hit the skewer play. I think that's the win condition for this fight. They're getting rid of the mines, so they think they're safe.
Oh, but Brightside's gonna pop
Magnus
this
is in the
smoke.
area. You be careful how you pop the smoke. Oh. You actually use RP. There's a nice stun from QSS onto 2. They bring all of them down. 2 gone immediately. Plus the Grimstroke. Filsky might just be next unless he can jump out of this one. Zeus just TPing the hell out of there. Double kill for Fuzz. They don't even need to use the RP in this fight.
Just a really good catch. The Jakiro Ice Path proved to be super powerful. And then
You follow that up with the Juggernaut ulti. And when you have those, like, instant 2 kills, the fight's just kind of over.
Oh, okay. This is Meteor Hammer CK, I guess. I guess this is a thing. So I'm going to be able to
Could
bring down the
actually be
mid creep
bad
wave.
for
Brightside
Radiant.
throwing out his slow, but again, they're going to push him off. They have a lot of D-push with Zeus and Grimstroke.
And there's always the threat of the blinks from Tiny
Oh, yeah.
and Legion.
She actually does. Smack's farming really well in this game.
He's at that powerful timing. Going for Glimmer Cape. That's a good Tiny
I'll
item
blink
just
forward
to
this
be
time
back.
on the CK. He's probably the tankiest hero, but the duel not quite able to get off. Mafuzz! You don't usually see a saving play from techies, but there it is.
what a powerful root bomb.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, but they might still
They're
find
still
the
gonna look
Magnus
for it though. He's on.
too quick.
Playing it very dangerous, very close to the chest. 15 to 14, still only a 1k gold lead. As the law of leading in kills. Still
Jaw
a lot of
finally.
space for Seb right now though.
The Deso's coming for Jaw. So
Clam might be looking for an opening. Seb is pretty far forward right now, but you still
Oh,
gotta be
there's the
careful of the rest of the
pushback.
team. Oh, we do get it! Mines used. Down goes Filsky. It's only 1. They get the deny follow-up, and I think Jaw's gonna try and turn this as he gets the help from the Zeus. Another root comes out as he has the damage! Isan is still gonna get chased. He needs to get a skewer away. There's the stun. There's the toss. I think you take it, dude. You're just like, you know what? You can kill me. I don't give a shit. I just killed 2 of you.
yeah, you just killed 2 cores. You definitely take that over sled. You've taken a lot of damage.
They are going to try and fight this mid, but nothing's really going to happen as they both just walk the same way.
Alright, and we see BKB's finally starting to come out. PA not gonna deal with that again. Legion obviously going for that blade
You got a
mail.
while yet before PAs is coming, though.
Tev's going for a bloodstone after trap. I like it. It's a bit unorthodox, you know. I think usually we'd like to see a blink dagger or something like that, but I guess the mana regen's always good.
Yeah, I'm just, like, again, I don't know what the point of this Meteor Hammer is on CK. Like, I don't really think it accomplishes anything.
Yeah, it's
Like,
just-
especially if you're gonna go right-click after this, right? Like, You're gonna get a Silver Edge or an Echo Saber, and then just be like, okay, now what? Like, I'm gonna sit here and cast Meteor Hammer and wait. Like,
Well, it looks like he's
probably
going
want to be
Glimmer.
right-clicking.
He's the support now, apparently.
Look at me. I am the support now.
Does anyone have the
Especially with the
attack range?
Nimbus.
Oh no, Techies does. I was gonna say I didn't know if anyone had the attack range to take that.
Jakiro does too if he gets the attack range talent, but he hasn't actually put a level into any talents yet.
Man, what an
Those are
even
the only
game.
two. Triple core lineup into a Nimbus Zeus is kind of rough. Good D wards there from QSS though. Is this still? I mean, this is such a close series, dude.
Yeah, 1K net worth for the side of Dire.
The experience graph also exceptionally even.
Oh, smoke coming in. This time Smack's gonna lead the charge yet again. Maybe they can find QSS, but who is the target first? Smoke gonna pop the blink away. They don't want to fight this silence. Oh, or Filsky running forward. The blink's still on cooldown. You gotta be careful, QSS. You don't want to get dueled still. So they missed the initiation, just a little bit of miscommunication there. I think they might have been able to get it, but Slendy was in the area, so that could have been the right call as well.
Oh, I think if you're Smack, you just had a heart attack. You picked up the tree, and behind it was a Magnus Jakiro waiting. Like,
Immediate
you're
blink
just
away.
in shock.
He probably just thought they had vision there, so he was about to get stuns, and he was just like, oh shit.
Both teams surprised to find each other behind the one tree.
Yeah. Oh, I think
But
this might...
3 bounties for Dire.
Is this ward down here in range of the sentry? It looks like it. Should be able to find it.
Just barely.
More 3
Definitely
mid, no smokes
in
yet,
range at the
as we
top.
do have... Dude, look at this. We have another mine mid.
Yeah, they're setting up these traps.
QSS is
We have
baiting.
2. There's 2 of them. in
I think
fact.
QSS is baiting. Like, they want to make sure... They want to try and get the Legion again. Maybe they can... Oh, they're going to go for it. You just got to use the RP there. Isan hesitates a bit. He
Oh,
had
no.
it, too.
They know. They put down the sentry. Up top?
Top
Juggernaut.
lane, they're going to try and bring down Jug, but
I
yeah,
think so.
no, that's actually Filsky getting the duel off first. Smack is going to be able to find Clam, too. Cannot get the TP away. Mid lane, they're not going to find anybody, and this should be dead Clam top as the Meteor Hammer coming through, but not really in time before he drops himself.
I think Radiant will get the tier 1.
Yeah. Echo Saber on Izon secures it.
Java farming up, getting to that BKB.
They still
timing.
haven't dewarded this, which I'm a little surprised about. Especially this one, too.
They probably don't know that there's a ward there. Their line of thinking being that if there was a ward
Oh,
there,
this, yeah,
Smack would have just blinked onto it.
true. Yeah, now with Brightside hitting it, they will see it. Don't have vision on this one, though. Oh, there was 2 in the area. But it's only 3
but I don't
mines,
think
so I
they're
don't
gonna
think it
kill.
kills. You gotta be careful. Okay, now
Oh,
they
no,
see this one.
Yeah.
Well, they're just Techies games or something else. Like,
They're spending a lot of time.
they're spending a lot of time trying to get rid of these. And at the meantime, you have Jaw picking up at Deso. So he's got Deso Battle Fury now. He's getting farmed up. This is Smack almost dying to mines, but he's able to actually
Wow.
run away. Slendy top? That's a solo kill on a Zeus. And now it just kind of comes down to who's going to get bigger, Slendy or Jaw. We might have a close game.
Yeah,
Like,
I
think
think
we
game-
both predicted stops, but like both cores are pretty even.
So the game is gonna be even until one team gets a real breakout fight.
Yeah.
I think.
I
And when that happens, I think the game might just be over as a result of that one
Mhm.
fight. So both teams, I think that they're smart enough. They know
How it could go that way, so they're being very careful.
Ja has to be so careful here that he's gonna pop the smoke. He goes for a dagger, trying to farm up a creep wave, but can they actually get vision on him? All the smokes pop. Can they find Ja in the trees? They're gonna try and go for Filski. Stun misses. They don't see Ja. They don't see Ja. He's just going for the TP away.
That was the wildest play I've ever. Ja,
He just
smoke
jukes
popped,
into the trees, dude.
but his Blur didn't. I didn't know Blur had a different break rate.
It has a smaller range than smoke. It is a
So-
pretty short range. Like,
He popped the smoke and then didn't. I don't even think he knew they
they're
were
gonna try
there,
and fight
so-
this too, because Izon gonna get stunned up as well as the toss. Needs to maybe go for the skewer away, killing off the illusion, popping the BKB. They get the duel on top of him into the stun. He's regenning so much right now, looking for the RP, but they can't get it off. Jug in with an ult. Slendy gonna drop. Those are the two cores gone, and I think that's just the fight, because your CK is definitely not a core at this point.
Oh, he dropped the meteor
Smack
hammer.
Trickz
What for what?
just owned right there. Toss into double stun.
Oh no, Ja! Oh no, Ja!
He gets him. The AoE is just enough. Mafuzz. I think that might be game saving too. 70 seconds without PA. That would have been horrible to lose 4 heroes without taking a single one. But Mafuzz. This is about as Techie's game as a Techie's game can get. As Mafuzz is pretty dead.
No?
Not gonna get a return kill.
Oh god. It's so terrifying.
Whew. Still, I just don't. Izon's probably a bit out of position there. Just getting caught out immediately. They cannot get a decent RP off. I don't think he's really used it once. Maybe once in the top lane. Oh my goodness. You're kidding me, dude.
Is right.
Filski's gonna take a bit of damage here too. Yeah, bright side. Okay. Smack just leaves.
You know, it's Techie's turns a 5 for 0 into a 5 for 2. You can't knock that. They will get 4 bounties. And that was sort of the big breakout fight that I was talking about. So this could be the beginning of the snowball for that.
Nice
We'll
mustache.
have to see.
Whew. Well,
But
It's that PA death is really unfortunate because now PA can't use the time that
Jug's dead to farm and really take that lead for herself.
yeah.
So they're still pretty
It
even
actually is
there.
very big.
And I think if you're dire, you just gotta buy a gem. Just give up, buy gems, accept the consequences of your actions if you don't.
$22-20. Let's see what's going on. Smack leaving, of course, because he died to Techie's mines. I think that's respectable.
Yeah, that's understandable. When you get clapped like that by techies, you just have to take a moment.
Snore.
Dude, that's it's me. Oh, John announces to his team that he's building Pipe of Insight.
That's a way to do it.
He has a Stygian queued in his inventory.
Alright, anyway we go.
Back to the match. Oh, Filski just blinks past the bounty room.
Wait, did he? His team will
Yeah.
pick it up. His team will pick it up, dude. No big deal.
No, look, Brightside's not going that
Did they
way.
just... Okay, they just completely ignored it. Slendy? Maybe he's not going to check, because he sees the camps are farmed. Probably a DD for Sev too, but no, actually blinking in Ezon's gonna be able to bottle it. Maybe looking into Roche.
Take the Roche?
I don't see enough people doing this, but I...
is too weak from the mines.
He's
Oh
forced
no,
back
he's got a
off.
BKB. He's got some regen too. But yeah, I think they can actually take this. I was gonna say I don't see enough teams doing the old walk into Roche, smoke out play, but they're just gonna take Roche right now. They don't even need to wait. So you go for the smoke. Fields gonna be the one to initiate. So you maybe need to find the techies, but look at the mines they already have outside the pit. They can focus down the Nimbus. That is gone. And I think they just give up the fight because Nimbus already being used. All the mines there. That would be a dangerous one to take. Slundy's gonna be able to get Aegis.
Yeah, that's definitely not really a viable Roche anymore. Once you give up that positioning, I mean, look at the techies with the little triangle of death.
The smallest triangle of death
No.
you've ever seen.
Smack takes more damage.
Whoa, wait. Oh, it's not too bad. He's just walking through
No,
here.
it's not too bad. But I'm more worried about his
Little
mental
triangle.
state. You know, if he steps over one more mine, he's just gonna uninstall Dota.
Pretty much.
See, this is why you build Glimmer Cape on the Tiny. If you don't build a Glimmer Cape, it takes you actually 7 seconds to attack creeps. So, you're forced to buy this item.
I think we do lose at least the tower here.
Yeah, they're gonna trade
Top
tier
tier
2s, but
2s.
I think if you're dire, you're happy with this. Since it's
They're gonna go
first time.
high ground too. I mean, you have the Aegis advantage. A lot of TPs out here before they even take the tower. They might not even have to trade. Jaw's gonna focus. Okay, yeah, they do trade. As Jaw sticks around to take it. But a lot of damage into that tier 3. We go. What is this? Well,
There's 3 tower damage.
dude, it's completely free, unhealable damage right there. As Jaw alone is gonna try and take bottom, but that catapult gone, meaning they can't really do too much. We'll see how much they want to fight. Blink in, they get the duel onto the Jug, but again, this is a very tanky Jug. He might just be able to survive the duel. No, he does die. So the Grimstroke ulti flops to another. Slendy doesn't have a spin, is just going to go for the ult all the way onto Smack. Brightside as well. Slendy just needs to run out of this one. I think they used a lot here. They haven't taken the tier 3s yet. Don't get the dagger, fortunately, and they can't get anything more. So they trade Aegis for almost taking a tier 3 tower.
And they have to be so careful about how they leave the base because of these mines in the top lane.
Yeah. But either way, I think it's kind of a win there for Mr. Trickz. Like, that defense is a really good one to make. You still haven't lost the tower. So you don't open up an avenue for Law to, like, split push and backdoor you.
Yeah. And I thought that they had the repair kit, but I believe it's actually inside of Raven. Nope. No one has the repair. Oh, no. Dire do have a repair.
I think
they
they'd
can
maybe
pick
save
up
it initially for top, though. I mean, maybe you pop, like, 1 or 2 charges right
There's a
now.
lot of mines near Smack.
Oh, no, Smack. Dude, he is having such a tough game on a Tiny. Like,
Walks
speaking
away.
of heroes that are awful against techies, like 0 armor on Tiny, like, oof, dude. At least
Gets
he's
a
got.
lot from his past.
Yeah, he does have 24 now.
Right. They're making a rat play.
Is that? Oh yeah, they're just trying to see how many mines are around the Roche. They're going for this wraparound, like maybe try and catch them where they don't have mines. But I think what Law is doing, they're playing really smart around their techies and just being, well, they cannot fight us in places where we have mines. And Mafuz is playing incredibly well, keeping them in spots so that they have options when it comes to fights.
Yeah. This techie's creating a large amount of pressure just from his own existence. But it's gonna be...
They're gonna go back atop, dude.
They have to be careful. That tower only has 200 HP.
Again, they have the
And they're-
repair kit, but who has it?
It's sitting in the fountain right now, I think.
Oh, the Meteor Hammer.
That's gonna be it.
There's the
The
tower
meteor
gone.
hammer.
Maybe they're going to turn on a
Oh.
QSS. The blink in from Izon. They're going to
Izon?
try and bring down the Zeus immediately. The duel, or the at least not coming through yet, as they do get it off. Izon going to use a BKB of his own, so maybe he can survive the duel. Stun through, not actually connecting because of the BKB as well. Everybody using theirs. In comes the ult from the Jug. Down goes Smack, and it's 0 for 1 right now on the backside. Finally, we get a Jaw running in, though. Can they get the back away? They've taken one, plus a tower. Jaw going to get stunned up. A nice one there from QSS, and I think that covers their retreat. What a play from Law. By the skin of their teeth, taking the tier 3 and getting a kill on Smack.
That's what happens when you try and save the repair kit for the efficiency.
And the Fuzz
the
still
tower.
doing a lot of work. They probably need to buy a gem of their own, because a lot of sentries out to spot some of these mines now. 3 minutes until Roche might spawn. So we at least know that timing.
Ever gonna get to Roshan? Look at this pit.
They do have the 1 sentry there, but I don't even know how they get around there to right-click mines yet.
Dude, that's gonna take them like 2 minutes to de-ward.
Oh,
or
Izon.
de-mine.
Izon is a little close to the other team right now. There is a Legion in the area, so you gotta be careful where you're walking. Illusion over here as well, but I think Filsky is gonna realize that's just an illusion.
See Izon.
And back this one off.
In the area. Hits a dagger.
Izon's staying over here, surprisingly, and Nimbus does connect.
I don't think there's gonna be follow-up. Tell you what.
Again, Law moves into 4th place, I believe, with a win here. And at this point, Mr. Trickz cannot take a 1st place lead. They can take a 1st place tie by winning one of these games. And Law also plays again tonight as well. So a lot of movement for them. If they 2-0 here, you get a 2-0 tonight, you're moving into 1st place for Law. Like, that's a very big jump in one day. Let's blink in. Clam top misses the stun. Smack making a nice play.
PA looking for a satanic. I think you have to get something to give you more HP. I think that is just what you must do against this techies. Oh, Sev, the mines.
This gets stunned up, but can they bring him down? They need to use the ult from QSS, but no, they're just gonna use the Omni Slash and maybe find Smack afterwards, faking out the RP. He's got his own Yules, but there's another one from Jakiro. Stun as well, the right clicks, and you are gone, Mr. Trickz. 2 kills pretty much for free and without a Zeus for 70 seconds. This fight is really difficult. Jaw's gonna push mid. Careful of the mines, Jaw.
I think
Even when
he's
they
just
push.
gonna give up this top tower.
Yeah, I think they try and make a play, make a
top
trade.
back.
They're just doing this through backdoor. They don't give a single damn about how healthy your buildings are. And Sev feeling a little bit bad about that one, unfortunately. That's just kind of how techies games roll.
Yeah, you know, honestly, this techies with these mines is just starting
Yeah.
so many fights.
I think this might be the game where you have to ban techies against Law, because Mafuz is playing so well. Like, usually when techies is on your team in a pub, they're never mines where you need them. This game, like, the amount of map control they were able to get early is just making so much space for Mafuz to give them so many options in fights. There's so many aggressive mines out that you just don't expect, and usually Zeus is not going to ever tank mines, right? Because he can just demine them. He has that free true sight, but even there, he's not expecting it in his own jungle.
So, this Roshan respawning in 30 seconds. Dire can do nothing.
Can't go near it.
Like,
You have
at
to give
this
it up. You
stage,
have 0 options for it.
You have to have these mines demined before Roche is up. But at this stage, that's obviously not going to happen. So, Radiant are just going to get a free Roshan.
I honestly, if I was the Law, I would probably make it as obvious as possible that I was doing Roast to try and bait them into a fight, because you know you are going to win this fight. I don't think they can contest this at all. There's a BKB up on PA. 9 seconds, you still got to worry about that RP as well, but they do see that the Roche is spawned. Clam running top. They're going to try and spot out Smacks, but the Zeus ult's going to stop that. Into the Roche pit they go.
There's nothing you can do on the side of Dire, and Dire doesn't know that. But look, already Filsky starting to get caught.
He's a little bit cocky there, just running in, but he will back off, and I think they just realize, yeah, we got to give this one up again. And I think potentially what happens is Law just pushes mid.
Yeah. I think at this stage, like,
I'll be honest, I haven't really seen a Techies ever do this. I've never seen a Techies take over the whole roast pit area like this before. But it's effective. It's powerful. Like, you've just this objective is impossible.
Oh, Mafuz is gonna get to a mid. Maybe they can finally get something. Killing off the Techies, that's a little bit of payback. But the buyback, he bought back and suicided him right into the middle of the fight, so they can fight this immediately. Down goes Brightside into the RP on the 3. Meteor Hammer to follow through. The stun from Jakiro. I can't believe it.
God, that was
Izan. Izan! Oh my goodness. What just happened? PA is down for 80 seconds, no buyback.
that was...
What?
That was...
Oh my goodness. That was the dream. They lose pretty much nothing.
This is...
The eggs up on Slendy. He's just gonna run in and kill off Brightside almost. He's dropping very low. 3 buybacks spent, but still no PA. And they don't know that he doesn't have buyback actually, because they're playing it safe right now. Probably have to try and kill off Sev if they can hit the Blink Skewer play, but there is a Nimbus here for another 18 seconds, and Sev very smartly just standing underneath that. So there's the Skewer play missed. You have to wait for another creep wave. There's a DD bottom as well, which is a very big thing to take note of. Meteor Hammer pushing very strong. Oh my goodness. That's just the Agnums too. Look how slow Max gets. It does get the duel off onto the Jug, but I believe that is just the egg. As he even spins, he's not even gonna die inside of the duel. So the win not there. They will be able to take out the Nimbus as well, just popping BKB as he's on to get rid of that one. Has a blink and a skewer very soon if he wants to try and find Seb, but it looks like they're just gonna back off for now. Into Smack, down he goes. And the mid barracks almost gone. They take out the melee. And dude, even leaving your base, you still have to be careful. Like,
Oh man, I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on that bottom fight.
in the RP, the suicide, the we talked shit on it, the Meteor Hammer.
dude, okay, the Meteor Hammer did nothing. I still stand that the Meteor Hammer did nothing. It was the Chikiro stun that actually did. Oh my god, they're just gonna lose Jaw.
I think that's game. I think that's just the game.
That's a no buyback. He's down for 100 seconds. And Law, I think he just took a 2-0 against one of the top teams in the group.
Oh, this is the 3 CK item. The Aghanim Scepter.
Oh my god. Wait. Creates an illusion of allied. Oh, yeah. That's actually so legit with Juggernaut. Izan maybe looking for it into Sev. He's surviving off of the Ghost Scepter, but again, I don't think you want to go too far. The stun, whoa, barely missing. Sev is able to actually get away. They get the Hex, but they'll just get rid of the Nimbus. Onto the tier 4s they go. A hard-fought series for
I
Law.
was gonna hit the button.
But I think they've just done it. GG called by Smack. They don't have their core. Into the CK. There's so many illusions. The dual win into the RP completely missed, but it doesn't matter.
I mean, 1 or 2 fights for the side of Radiant, and they snowballed out of control. The game looked even till it wasn't.
Dude,
That was why?
what the fuck? Oh, so Techie's bought back during Toss. I thought he bought back during Suicide, and that's why he ended up there. But the buyback from Toss, oh my god.
I was so confused. Just Techies is suddenly back.
It was either the Toss or the Suicide. And I know that bug still exists, but oh my.
I think it has to be the toss because when you're suiciding, you just die in place.
Oh, true.
Like, it doesn't keep going.
Well, I thought he had died in the air, and that's why. But yeah, since he was in the
Yeah.
air during the toss and then he died and popped back, like, immediately gets back into the fight. And it ends up, the funniest part is it ends up mattering, too. Like,
Yeah,
it's
and it ends up
actually a
being
big
so
deal.
Powerful with that combo. That was such a wild match. Honestly, though, all right, we talk about the techies, but 99% of the techies this game was those stasis traps. Like, the damage from the remote mines was good, but he secured his team like 4 or 5 kills just by stunning them for such an obnoxiously long amount of time.
Dude, and he saved the Magnus once mid. Like, early on, techies just makes you so much space. But Fuzz is gotta be MVP of Game 2. Like, I think that's a techies performance where you just ban it every single game against the law from now on. Like,
so, at the start of the game, it didn't look so good. The laning phase didn't go great, but that mid to late game was so strong. It was so powerful.
oh my god.
Techies just removed the Roche. Like, you know, in competitive Dota, the Roche pit is everything. You know, it's like, in my opinion, like, in the early game, the mid-tier one's the most important objective. And in the mid to late game, Roshan is the most important objective.
Totally.
And when you can just basically say, yes, your team is not allowed at this objective, like, it's incredible. And I haven't seen the techies do that before.
Well, I mean, 2 games to go a long way. Like, that hell of a series. The Law pulling out a 2-0. I did not expect that at all. Mr. Trickz looked really strong into this series. They were number 1 in the group, I believe. I'd have to look at the standings really quick.
I think they were
They're number 2 in the group behind Nebula. That's right. Now the Law moves up to 9 points, tied with Free Logical. And tonight they have the chance to tie for number 1 in the group with Nebula, which would move them in a single day from ranked 6th in the group to tied with 1st. But we have to wait till tonight, of course, to see that. Hell of a game from the Law, though. Like,
I don't know if I'll have the energy to watch it, because those 2 games were both so crazy.
I don't know if they have the energy. I can't believe they're playing 2 games in one day.
Those weren't just like Dota games where you just play the game. Those were wild. Those are edgy seat matches, both of them.
Well played from the Law, though. I've been joined by Matt Cuff. Wait,
Yeah,
Matt Cuff? Matt Cuff?
Yep, Matt Cuff.
Matt Cuff, both of these games, it's been great. I'll be casting again later tonight. Go check out my Twitter. It's just twitter.com/killerkarate or however Twitter handles work. I usually tweet out whenever I'm casting, and I'll put links in League of Lads as well. Matt Cuff, do you have any final words, shoutouts, plugs?
I mean, I'll plug my own Twitch, twitch.tv/MattCuff. I stream there, I cast, but that's about it.
Yeah.
For the fun fun.
Well, GG's, ladies and gentlemen.
GG's.